gamers, and welcome to episode 470 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for September 21st, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with Ms. McCoy, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
All right, man. It's been a crazy week, but we're gonna get through this. But as far as gaming and like news and sports, it's been a lot. There's been a lot of stuff happening.
Surprisingly, more than I was expecting. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of good news. Well, some good news. It's news. You know, it's not.
It's unbiased news.
Yeah,
it leans neither good nor bad.
Yeah,
Rogue
it's just that.
news.
Yeah, it's something. You got some news out there. Like, yeah, it definitely stuff I didn't even know about. Like I see you put up here. But sporting world, yeah, of course. It's like I said, this is that crazy time of year, man. So this is that year where you got all these events happening, and of course in America, the biggest events is football, man. College football, NFL. I mean, that is just the way here, man. That's our distraction. That's our
from everything
distraction from yeah. That's what it is. They use that to distract us from all the stuff that's happening around here. We got election time happening, but you know what? People talking about football. Okay, so anyway, actually, I'm not gonna start with football. I'm gonna start with baseball because Shohei Ohtani, he's the first player ever in the MLB history to go 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. Yes, now rules have changed. The stolen base rule has changed last year. It's starting last year, and so it's a lot easier to steal than years past. So I think that's fair to factor that in, and I think that's fair to factor all these rules in because baseball has changed. It's been over 100+ years of baseball, and it's a lot of these things we just say that's a record, and we just leave it at that. And because it's simple. It's simpler to do that than to go like, but you know what? The balls were made differently, you know, at this time, or
adjusted for analytics.
Yeah, the bats are different. Like the length of bats, the bases are well now. Like the bases are bigger, and also the for safety. I mean, they're for good reasons though. Yeah. I mean, safety reasons, and they changed the rules for stealing because people weren't doing it because they were looking at statistically. And they were saying like, oh, it's not worth the taking a chance on it to steal a base. So that has gone away from the baseball formula, like because of basically like looking at analytics. But now that they put this rule in, so people are stealing more, where you can only try to pick them off twice, you know, or leave the mound twice, as they would say. But anyway, yeah, so, but still, like, for me, I still look at it as a good thing. It's still a great thing. Like, I'm not looking at, like, how I look at the 40-40 club back in the day. Right. Like with Jose Canseco and, I know Barry Bonds. I'm saying two people who obviously took some drugs. But at the time, it was great because you didn't know that. You didn't know they did. Like, the 40-40 club. I mean, there's other people who's in the 40-40 club, too. I just can't think of them right now. That are not taking steroids.
That we know of.
But that was like that was huge. It was like, yo, you got 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases. That's crazy. And like or like just being 2020 club was cool.
Yeah.
Like being 2020 club or something like that. But now that the rule has changed, it's like I gotta look at it differently. I don't see it the same. Like, yes, he's the first ever to do 50-50 club, but it's different rules now. I almost feel like if those rules were there, Jose Canseco would have that record. Barry Bonds would have that. They would be part of that if they had that. Like, they will be not just 50-50. It would probably be like the home runs would probably be harder. I would say that the home runs would probably be harder to get to like that. But I think at some point, yeah, I think Barry Bonds would have gotten it. Hell, because he would start jacking them up, and somebody else would have done it. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just different times. But as of right now, he's the first one to do it right now. Nobody else has done it yet, and I don't know if anybody's close this year to even doing it for this year. So that's for the players that are here now. That's an incredible feat. So I mean, and that's great. I mean, and it's Shohei Ohtani. I mean, look, not this year. He's not pitching though. He's just a DH. But man, for a guy to be this good at what he does and to be like at both positions, I think overall he's a better batter than his pitching, but his pitching's not bad. It's good. He's doing no hitter before. Like it's ridiculous. Like I hope that next year he does get back to pitching. Because that'd be really cool. Like this guy is great. Exciting. I mean, he's in the right place other than New York, Los Angeles, and especially for his people, the Japanese. Yeah. Especially for his people, that's really good because it's over the West Coast, so it's at least closer to their island. Even though they can get out to New York. I mean, they got out there, but it's a whole lot easier for being Los Angeles.
There's a large population out there.
Exactly. So, I mean, that it works out for baseball to have this. Like this is such a good thing for baseball, especially with the ratings of baseball being what they are. They're really great. They're good locally. Locally, they're good. It's like for the local teams, like people who watch their team. Nationally, they're not what it used to be. Now, money wise, I don't know what that means, honestly. Like I don't know if they still make a whole lot of money still, even though like viewership is not what it was before, but because of sponsor stuff, it probably works out. Like I don't hear them losing money. I don't hear them going out of business. So, but I think something along the Shohei Ohtani, that is very good for baseball. Orioles have not been doing so well, but recently they have won 2 games in a row. They're still the top wild card team. They're like, I don't know how many games they're back from the Yankees. It's going to take some help. Like the Yankees are going to have to lose some games for us to get to that point. Then you only have 8 games left. So it's like you're asking a lot. Like the O's they've been on a slump. But recently they have won. They did a walk-off as of this podcast 2 nights ago. And then last night they really beat up on the Detroit Tigers. I'm just hoping that this is a start, because all you need to do is just start hot now. I mean, look, last year Texas Rangers, they start out great, last year Texas Rangers start out really great, like number 1 team in the league, almost like someone the Orioles was doing.
Yeah.
Then they floundered. They're the end, and they got I don't know what they did the last few games before the playoffs, but basically overall though, you was like, oh, this team was great, but are they still good? You don't know how good they were. But they got to the playoffs because they won so many games. And then they got hot again. So the thing is, you can just hope that, hey, the O's, they just get hot. I mean, they start hitting again or something like that. Because the pitches has been overall decent, even though that's where the biggest injuries happen, was pitching. So that's why I'm always surprised when they say the bats are not hitting. It's like, well, that's not what I don't need that to happen. It's like because we don't got the pitcher, but the pitcher's been holding it down sometimes. So I was like, darn, like we have not taken advantage of our situation here. We have a couple bats that were hurt, but not enough to cause this, because it was actually hurting before these 2 guys got hurt on Westburg and Mountcastle. Now Westburg looked like he might be coming back. We got another pitcher who might be coming back. So maybe it might be looking good going into these playoffs. But like as of right now, it's 8 games left. I'm still watching though. Like and not giving up. I mean, because this will be the first time in a long time we going back to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So like we have not gone back to back since the 90s. So that's been a very long time. Yeah, because even in those 2010s, we never did go back to back.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was so weird that we didn't do that. Anyway, what else has happened? So Judge is the next big thing that people are looking at. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's because there's only 8 games left. For them to get 60 home runs.
Okay.
Now I want to see how many home runs he's at, because people probably are walking him too. Judge. I forgot his first
53
name.
now.
What's his first name?
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge, yeah, okay. Yeah, because I put Judge. All I got was Judge Judy. All right, so, but yeah, so So he's only at 52. Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
That's gonna be tough. Yeah, he probably won't get there. But man, that guy still he's a great batter, man. Because he's not just a home run hitter, yo. Because look at his average. What's his average?
His average is
it's like 300 something.
287 right now. Yeah.
Is that 287? Oh my goodness. Dang
it. Well, that's just whatever pops up on Google here. So that might be like a career average or something instead of a current season average or something. Let me see.
I could have sworn it was because they say he's fighting for a triple crown.
319.
Yeah, okay.
Is his
yes, because there's still some people. I think there's still a couple people above him, or one. It's either one or a couple. But him hitting at 319, he hits 319. People,
that's crazy.
Like, this ain't just a home run hitter.
Yeah.
Like him hitting 50-some home runs with like a 260 bat average would be cool. That'd be good.
Yeah.
Like this dude hitting 3. That means he's a hitter. Like he bats, man. Like that's kind of like those Barry Bond fucking numbers, man. Because like Barry Bond, like shit, it wasn't just the home runs, man. That man could just hit. And so yeah, man, that dude is awesome. And I'm just mad that these awesome people are on the biggest markets in baseball.
Yeah.
But you know what? Technically Trout was in Los Angeles because it's Los Angeles of Anaheim. For the Angels.
Yeah.
But they're not as big as the freaking Dodgers. It always feels like that they even lower than the Mets of their city.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like the Mets are bigger just than the Angels.
Yeah, I mean the Mets are like a cultural institution for a lot of people in a way that the Angels just are not.
Yeah, and Angels, they used to be I think they still were the same area. I mean, they were called the California Angels. I know. Then they changed the names, but I don't know how far they removed. So, but like, and Trout was the best player in baseball. He was the best player in baseball for a long time. Basically the 2010s, like he was the best guy, but he just wasn't that face for the league because unfortunately the Angels didn't do anything. They only went to the playoffs one time and they lost in the first round. So he wasn't out there. So like the East Coast people don't really see him because their games all play at 10 o'clock over there.
Yeah.
And then the Angels weren't that great. I mean, so it was just him. And they had Shohei Ohtani on their team too. Like the Angels just, what the F? It's just such bad luck with them. Like I don't know I think it's pitch. Somebody said it was pitching probably was their issue. I honestly don't know because, like I said, they're West Coast, so I'm not really focusing on them. like your games come on too late. But yeah, so it's almost is this a setup this way? Is this a setup for baseball to do this, to have these two monsters in the biggest markets so that they could get more eyes on them?
Absolutely.
Is it? Or it's just a coincidence, you know? It's just that, yeah.
Gotta bring that money in somehow, Dominic.
All right, so, man, I'm really long on this. Let me get to football real quick. My team won, yay, and all the teams in my division lost. So that's good. We beat the Giants. We barely beat them. You know what? We only beat the Giants because they're stupid. They knew their kicker was somewhat hurt. They didn't have a backup kicker. So they didn't kick any field goals or extra points. While our team, we fired our kicker from the first week because he missed some easy stuff, and we picked up a new kicker. And this kicker went 7 for 7 in the game, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? And we didn't score no touchdowns, but we won because he went 7 for 7. So they're pissed. Like, they're the first team ever to have 3 touchdowns and stop the opposing team from scoring a touchdown and still lose. Like, that's crazy. Like, because you freaking didn't have a backup kicker. Like, but it's one thing that it happened during the game. Like, if it happened during the game, that's bad luck. But you knew this guy was a maybe. What the hell were you thinking? I guess they were thinking, like, let's help the Washington team out. And I guess they said, so thank you, I guess. It's like, God damn. So we won our first game. with our new quarterback and everything, so that's good. Dallas got blown the hell out by freaking Saints. Saints have just been scoring up a storm. I mean, the first week was against the darn Carolina Panthers, who are sorry. So you didn't know like how good the Saints were. You said, okay, they're playing Dallas, so Dallas is this their first game home. You know, way hell Dallas is gonna lose this game. They got blown out. Like they beat the hell out of them, and it was ridiculous. It was beautiful. Then the Eagles lost based on the last freaking drive by my man Kirk Cousins.
Oh wow,
man, they call him the human statue because he barely moves, but they sure couldn't. They didn't get him down that drive. Yeah, they screwed up because they went on third down where they could have clinched the game. They had the lead already. I think they keep the field goal. They could have like ran the clock out because Atlanta had no more timeouts. They threw a pass. But now, it was a good play. Some people are arguing that they should have just ran the ball. Even if Atlanta would have stopped them, they could have run the clock down some more so that it wouldn't have been a lot of time for Atlanta to have the ball. I think it would have been a minute something to have the ball, even though they got down pretty fast when they scored that touchdown. But anyway, they threw a pass, but the guy was open. It was like a short out pass like to the running back. Who's this guy they just picked up who's like one of the best running backs in the league. And like he was wide open, and he would have just got it, and he would have got a first down. He was kind of just open, so he dropped it. And I was like, and now some people are blaming the coach, and I was like, I don't know, man. The man was open, and he dropped the fucking ball, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know I could get mad at coach for that. Like, the guy went for the win. He went for a win. Like, he didn't go for the maybe. He was going for the win. And the thing is, if the guy would have just caught the ball, which he's supposed to have, and he even said he should have, game's over. So I'm not gonna get mad. I can't get mad at coach for that. Like, if there was like a pass where it's like, man, some men were on the guy or something, and like it's like, that's like the play that was drawn up. Like you can tell a play was drawn up, and it's like, you shouldn't have took a chance on a play like that. This was an easy play, and like guy was wide open, so. Yeah, and like and just in case he wasn't open, the quarterback could have done something. Like he could have ran and got tackled, you know, or went down, you know, and the clock was still running, same as a running back would have done. So yeah, it was just bad luck. I mean, it was bad luck, and well, the defense also. You can't get mad. Like you get mad at the coach. I say first of all, he drew up a play that was the guy could actually catch the ball. If he caught the ball, it would have been over, and it was a good play. Then you're gonna get mad. What you gonna get mad at him because they lacked them with a minute and whatever to go down and get a touchdown. They went down, got a touchdown. It wasn't a field goal.
Yeah,
that's where you gotta get mad at the defense. So you gotta get mad at the defense and get mad at the guy for dropping the ball. I was like, come on, man, you can't get mad at a coach for this. Like they let this team go all the way down with a minute something and score a touchdown? You gotta be kidding me. And that fast? So, yeah. So that's good. Ravens lost. That's really disappointment. So it's Dallas and Ravens. So by the time you hear this, the game is over. So I don't know who would win. I know Dallas, my mom's team, and my sister's team is, of course, the Ravens. They were going to go to the game, too. They had tickets to the game. Unfortunately, some problems happened, so they couldn't go. Yeah, so that's the big game of the. I don't know if it's the game of the week. It could be the game of the week. I don't know what's the biggest game because I didn't look at the schedule. I'm just kind of going day by day. Like I don't even know who the fuck we playing. Honestly, the Washington team is all just gonna be a surprise. I think it's the Bengals. We play this week. I want to say.
Yeah, it's the Bengals on Monday night.
Okay. Yeah, it's a double Monday night. Yeah, it's 2 Monday games. I don't know why, but whatever. We'll be the ones you don't watch, probably. I don't know. I don't know who's the other ones is. But yeah. So we got the Bengals on Monday night. So yeah. So that's it as far as sports go. So any wrestling news?
Nah, nothing this week to talk about really.
Oh, okay. I guess we just talk about P. Diddy stuff. All right.
So many bottles of baby oil.
so let's stop it out. All right. So we get into what we've been watching. So what you been watching, man?
All right, so I watched the movie Civil War. It's that A24 film. It's on Max now. I was kind of interested, like just a weird curiosity, because I thought it was going to be this, like, I don't know, like, not over glorification of like the idea of a civil war in the United States, but something like that, where it was almost like a kind of action-y thing where it's like, oh, one side is, the bad guys and one side is the good guys. I maybe should have known that wasn't the case, because it's an A24 film. They're the same people that released the Iron Claw movie that we talked about a little while ago about the Von Erichs, so they're kind of an art house.
I mean, I've seen quite a few of their films. Yeah. A lot of their films are definitely in the artsy fartsy.
Yeah, and this is very much kind of in line with that, because the Civil War in the United States is used more as a set piece to focus on this group of journalists. There's a man who's just basically a reporter, and then Kirsten Dunst plays a photographer, and along the way they meet up with a couple of other journalists, and it's really about like them interacting in this environment of a civil war. It seems like Nick Offerman for Parks and Rec is playing the president, and he's almost kind of like a Donald Trump type, where he's used the military to try and take over, basically, and you've got these other opposing forces that are trying to basically pry him out of the White House, and it's following them trying to get to the White House, because it sounds like this is going to happen within the coming days. The opposing forces are going to go in there and get the president, and he's going to surrender within the coming days. So they're basically racing to Washington, D.C. to try and get like the exclusives. I think overall it's a pretty good film. It's well done. It very much feels like a not quite a puff piece, but it's very much like yes, this is why journalism isn't important. And by the end of it, it's kind of like, this is a little over the top and almost silly in the way that the ending goes down. One half of the ending, I should say. There's some stuff that happens. Overall, I would recommend it as a watch. Like it's not a bad movie by any form or faction. I think it's up there with the Iron Claw, where it was a movie that it wasn't the greatest, but I felt like it was worth watching. And I think this firmly kind of falls into that same category. If you're going in expecting anything other than kind of an art house style movie, though, you're going into the wrong thing. I'm kind of glad I came into it with those expectations, though, because I came into it with low expectations because I thought it was going to be that. And then it did not disappoint me. So I came out, mostly positive on it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And then Penguin debuted on Max as well at some point this week. This is the spinoff of the Batman, starring Colin Farrell as the Penguin, doing Oswald Cobblepot stuff. The first episode so far, it's really just setting him up as kind of a henchman moving into a more major role. And by the end of this first episode, it seems like he's kind of implanting himself more as, one of the top dogs in the criminal field of Gotham.
Did he get a pet shark yet?
No, unfortunately, no pet sharks yet.
How about at least some birds?
No.
Like, he's used to have pet birds, too. So
yeah.
Exotic birds.
It's just him mostly hanging out with
you got an umbrella, though, right?
A teen. He does in one of the first scenes of the movie, the show. I don't see him with it much otherwise.
They better have a gun.
Yeah, he's got a gun. The umbrella, on the other hand, I'm not sure if that is a gun. Yeah, I think it's okay so far. It's not one of these things where I'm like, wow, that was so crazy and impressive, and the acting was so good. Like it, I would have to go back and watch the Batman. I remember thinking Colin Farrell did a really good job, but in this, it's like, okay, yeah, he's a good actor, but I'm not like blown away by his performance. Obviously, like the aesthetics of it, like I don't look at him and even recognize that that's Colin Farrell. And
exactly, yeah, that's what I'm always amazed.
So that is still just as impressive, and like even the voice, you don't hear any of that in his performance, I think.
Yeah, because when I saw the movie, I knew the people were in there, but I didn't know who was who, honestly, because I didn't look at too much news, so I didn't know who played who, except for I knew who Twilight guy was the Batman, and Gordon was that black guy. But other than that, I didn't really know. So I was looking for Colin Farrell. I was like, where's Colin Farrell at? And I just forgot about it. And then when I saw that he was a Penguin, I was like, holy shit, he was a Penguin. He was a Penguin the whole time. Oh my god. I was like, what the hell? I was thinking he was going to be the Riddler.
Yeah. So from that level, that performance is still very impressive, but like it's not like he's delivering these like incredible soliloquies or something like that. These amazing monologues. He's being the Penguin, and he's doing a good job at that. Being a kind of grimy mobster guy. Now let me ask you this, Dominic. We talked about like the Batman animated series and like the timeline that took place in. The Batman takes place in a more modern aesthetic, right?
Yeah, that's what it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure, because like obviously the cartoon went over my head somehow, so I'm just trying to make sure that I'm like not missing that same obvious thing here. Because obviously it still has
in the 90s
like,
we still had some of those cars, Daniel. You know, we were still driving some of those old
exactly
what
the cars that were like 10 times the size of a car nowadays. Cars that were the size of F-150s.
And everybody was wearing suits and stuff, you know, walking the streets with their fedoras. They was wearing fedoras.
Exactly. Working on their steel beams, sitting there eating lunch. All right, Dominic. But yeah, that's what I've been watching this week. What have you been watching?
All right, so I finally finished Full Metal Alchemist, which is a anime, and it's one of the popular ones. And actually, I think, of course, it was a manga. Like I don't know what anime is out there that wasn't a manga.
Yeah.
But because like seem like every time I look up something, somebody said, "Oh, you read the comic?" I said, "What the fuck, man?" I said, "Gary, all these things are just based off a manga." So and I think it had a series even before. This is actually a remake. So I've been watching this. It took me a while. Like I think I started maybe. I don't know if I started at COVID or a little before COVID, but like I just go through some episodes and I wait. It's like I think it's overall I forget how many episodes it is. Like maybe like 50 something. It's not a long series. It's not like a series like you think of like shonen shows like Naruto or Dragon Ball, but it's like hundreds of episodes or something like that. Nah, it's not that type of show. It has an ending and everything. But you know, like looking at it though, because I watched Attack on Titan before I watched this. So Attack on Titan came out after this. And like I was saying, like, wow, this was actually pretty good. I thought this is not what I thought it was, because I never really looked up what the hell this was. I thought it was something silly, more like comical. It has a lot of very serious really storylines, and like its whole premise of it. It's
this
pretty
is the one with the like brothers, right? Where like one of them,
the brothers they tried to bring their mother back to life with this alchemy that supposed to like bring life, but with the I forgot what they call it, the stone, not power stone,
the philosopher's stone,
philosopher's stone, yeah.
Is it really? That's the Harry Potter thing.
I want to say yes.
Okay.
I want to say yes, but it's more than one. And I don't know if it's like they broke in pieces, like that's what it was, but it's more than one stone, because there's different philosopher's stones. I mean, like people have philosopher's stones and they brought like these things called homunculus, where like humanoid things come to life.
Oh, weird.
But anyway, they try to bring their mother back to life, that didn't work. And you're not supposed to do that. It's against the law, like the laws of. I don't think it's just the law, like it's the law of the life or something, whatever. And it cost him something. Like he lost his arm and leg, the older brother, and while the younger brother kind of lost himself, but the older brother knew something and put his soul, I believe, into this metal armor. So his younger brother's in his big metal armor, and they're trying to find ways to get themselves back to life. They need a philosopher's stone to do that. So that's really what their goal is. But they also work with the military of the city to deal with people who delve into other illegal arts and stuff like that. And the brothers, they got powers. Like he got this power of alchemy, which he can kind of look like he could change out metal and stuff from all over. Okay. And people got different powers that deals with alchemy throughout. But it also deals with like God and all the other stuff, and like it's deep. Like it's a whole lot deeper than I thought what this type of show was. Because my dad said he watched it. I remember he was telling me he was watching it and stuff. He said it's really good. I said, oh, okay. I said I might check it out like sometime. And now like after finishing watching the series, man, it was a great ending. I really like it. It's up there with like Attack on Titan. Like I said, oh wow, this is really really good. Like this is like I guess if people who watch this and went to Attack on Titan, at least they got two good quality animes like to really delve into. The only bad thing is Attack on Titan took forever, like between fucking seasons to come out. I have no idea how Full Metal did, like when it came out. But hey, good for me though, because like I just watched it all at once. But yeah, this was a really good series. The animation is really good, like the fight scene and stuff. But like just the story of it was really good and really emotional. And yeah, man, it goes places. Like it's up there. Like as far as like anime storytelling, like I like the Attack on Titan, and I really like this. Like this is really good. So yeah, that's what I really watched.
Yeah. I've definitely heard a lot of people say that Full Metal Alchemist is definitely one of the top tier animes.
Yeah, I just don't know any. Like some people, I see their recommendations of other anime that's really top tier, and I check them out and they're okay, but I just never like that. I was like, this is something I can see like a normal person watching, you know. Like I said normal person, I mean people
like
who aren't into anime. Yeah, like some things I can see, and some things I'm like, this is a
Have
little
you talked
too weird.
about Spy Family before?
Yeah, if I had, I don't remember, but I have watched. I watched like
Gotcha.
most of the first season of that.
Okay.
It's funny.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's funny. It's funny and cute. Like it's nice. Like that, and it's another one called which is like a guilty pleasure of mine. It's called Love is War.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called. Let me see. Love is War. Yeah, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. It's about these two high schoolers who are like prestigious high schoolers. Like one is he's the principal, and the other one, that's the principal. He's the class president, and the girl's the class vice president, and they like each other, but they don't want to show. They don't want to. Nobody wants to go first to actually get out, and they always talk around it. And then when things happen, they get jealous, but they don't try to show it. And it's fun. It's funny because it goes through like it goes through like rounds. It said like, oh, who won this battle of the round or something? Who won this? And then my favorite character is actually this one of the side characters, this boy, because he kind of reminds me of me in high school. In that like, because the president he brought him to work for him because he's trying to build him up to be a better student, because the guy is kind of like failing classes and doing stuff like that, and like, or just doesn't care. And like, I just remember it was like exam time, like everybody was all stressed. I was like, oh no, I had to study for exams. It's like, yep, say I got to go home, spend some time studying. And that guy, and the boy was like, he's like, yep, go home study. It did. They show everybody studying, staying all night, and he just playing his video games. He's like not stressed out at all. Not stressed out at all. Like that, and that's how I was as anti, because I was like, dude, if I don't, they say, well,
it
how
happens,
much do I
it
know?
happens.
It's like if I say, well, I'm sure I ain't gonna learn it now, so yes, just hope it'd be easy, and especially math. Math, I just hope that I did very well enough in the all through the year, so when I do fail the exam, I still pass, and that's how it usually works out for me, because they fuck me over, because they always do hey, she always says the multiple choice is 50%, and these 2 word problems are their other 50% of the test, and I was like, well, the best I can do is 50%, and I'm not going to get that, so I'm really going to have to try to do well on these other these doing quizzes and stuff during the year, before I can just have enough to fail. So I was like, I never answered. I don't think I ever answered 1 word problem ever in high school. I don't think I ever did. I just never could do it. I just read it and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck it's telling me to do. I have no fucking idea. And I was like, well, I just fuck it. I did not even care. But yeah, that show's pretty funny. Love is War. It's a funny show. Spy Family, yeah, because Spy Family is them 2 people, almost what's that movie? Oh, I guess it's a TV show too now.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Mrs. Smith, yeah, kind of thing. But they have a daughter, and she has ESP, and she can hear thoughts. Mm-hmm. So she knows that they're what they both are, but she likes that family, and she wants to be with them because she's an orphan, and so she stays with them, and she's pretty funny. And how she's not really super smart, but she's in a prestigious school. But the only reason she's smart because she's trying to listen to people's answers and stuff like that. But it's not all the time she can get it, and it just be funny situations. Yeah, why'd you know about that one?
One of the guys at work that has told me a lot about Full Metal Alchemist that also mentioned that as being a very enjoyable one. So,
okay.
I couldn't remember if we had previously talked about it or if it was only that conversation.
Nah. I don't think I ever talked about that. Yeah. It's a nice comedy, to watch.
Gotcha.
So let's now get into what we've been playing. So what you been playing, man?
All right, so I've been playing some more Astro Bot. Not too much this week. I still haven't finished it out yet. I'm not that far away. But still kind of the same place I was last week as far as feelings towards it. They're still kind of, not doing as much in the variety as much as they were at the onset of the game. So I'm still very high on it, but I'm not quite this is the best game ever, or at least, the best game immediately in the past couple of years or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, obviously it's hyperbole. I was never this is the best game ever, but I'm still very high on it. It's just, it's not this is Mario 64 good or anything right now.
Well, for the PS5, is up there, right?
For the PS5, absolutely. It's for me, obviously, even
a PS5.
Yeah.
Nothing that's cross between both.
Yeah.
I guess, wait a minute, did Elden Ring come out for the Xbox One and the PS4?
I believe it did.
So darn.
Yeah.
That's very limited. I guess Spider-Man 2 is the only other game.
Pretty much.
And I guess Returnal and Dark Souls Remake.
Yeah. The pool of exclusives is obviously pretty limited.
It's very limited. God damn.
Well, let me tell you about some more remasters when we get to the news. So that's all I've got on Astrobot for now. I did try out Case of the Golden Idol. That's on Game Pass right now. And that came out a couple of years ago. And I remember hearing a lot of praise for that game. This is I'm not sure how to describe it, honestly. It's basically a problem solving thing. Like almost when you were talking about like word problems for math, it's almost kind of like that, because they give you a picture, and in that picture you can gather clues from the people that are there and the documents that are around and their belongings and things of that nature. And then you basically have to solve an almost like clue-like puzzle as to like what's going on. It's not always a murder, but it's usually something related to like someone dying. But you try and gather the names of the people. Like the first one, for example, is just a picture of two people. One of them is pushing the other off a cliff, and you have to figure out which one of the people is which one of the people described in the documents that you find, and what they're doing and why they're doing it. So it's like this person pushed this person off the cliff for the jewels or something like that. So I was able to make it through that first one pretty easily. The second one, without too much difficulty, I definitely got something wrong and then figured out what I got wrong. Because it will tell you, like, hey, you've got, like, this portion of these things wrong. It won't necessarily tell you, like, you got these entries right and you got these entries wrong. But this third one that I've encountered now is just kind of has me stumped. It almost feels like there's not enough information there for me to make like logical conclusions as to who everybody is and what the associated documents are for them. So I'm kind of bumping up against the wall right now, and I keep going back to, well, I've gone back to it twice now. With not much time though, so it's not like I've been sitting there like just trying to figure it out. But I would like to get past it, and I would like to get past it of my own volition with no like internet assistance. I think they do have a in-game hint system, so I might engage with that, but I'm really just trying to get through it myself first. And I was kind of surprised at how quickly I got to the point where I was struggling with it. It really makes me question my own intelligence. But I like the gameplay of it. It's very, very simple. And it feels like I'm solving a mystery, you know, when I'm able to actually get through it all and piece all the pieces together. So there's a level of immediate satisfaction there if you're able to get through the puzzles.
Is it like a murder mystery or something?
Yeah, in a lot or at least so far the ones that I've seen. Yes.
Who saw JR?
As it turns out, all of it was a dream. Yeah, but that's kind of what it is. It's very much like, oh, you know, Colonel Mustard killed so-and-so with a pickaxe or something like that. All of them have had to do with some form of death, but they haven't all necessarily been murder so far. Yeah, and it seems like there's at least 9, because the first like chapter has 3. And I would guess at least there's 3, and I think there's been like 3 different chapters. So it doesn't seem like it's a particularly long game. I know there is some DLC that they're showing on the Xbox store alongside it, but obviously I'm not engaging with that stuff until I can get past the 3rd level of this game. But I think it's a really cool concept. I know they're coming out with another one pretty soon, that is more like modernized, I think, because this all is very kind of more old timey stuff.
So like JFK then?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, so it seems all right, but I definitely need to spend some more time with it to see whether it's going to be something I just abandon or if I can actually overcome the hurdles that I'm facing. And then I played Plucky Squire. That is a new release this week, and it came out as part of PlayStation Plus. It's available through that. So I downloaded that on the PS5. And we had previously seen this game. You basically are a little almost Link-esque character, a little guy with a sword in a storybook. And eventually you find yourself escaping the storybook, and it becomes this kind of like meta tale about you realizing that you were in a storybook and existing in the writer's room. And
oh man, see you down now. I didn't get that far when I realized that. You ruined it.
Oh, I'm sure there will be far more to learn about it, Dominic. It definitely seems like they're doing more with the story than I would have expected necessarily. Like, that's not to say like it's super deep, but it does feel like they're trying to go for more than just Zelda, which is, save the princess style stuff. And when you go out of the storybook, you go into this more like 3D, not quite realism. The objects around the world are kind of more realistic, but you're still very much a cartoon character existing in that space. I would argue that the storybook stuff looks much more visually stunning. Like it reminds me of Chicory, which looked very good as well. Very hand drawn. Whereas the 3D stuff looks kind of generic. Gameplay wise, the combat is nothing more than like a Zelda kind of slashy, move around from an isometric angle. Although this is more of a flatter angle. They do give you a jump and a dodge roll, and it seems like you're going to get more powers and potentially different weapons as well, which might evolve that combat a little more. But really, I've seen 2 boss fights so far, and those have been kind of the most interesting. Well, maybe kind of 3. I don't know if that one of them is considered a boss fight necessarily. But those are the most kind of intriguing aspects of it, because they do kind of twists on other genres. So like the one you've seen, you have a boss fight against a honey badger, and it's basically like a punch out style game, which I think is really neat and well done there. And definitely a cool twist on you just kind of hacking and slashing away, or getting a specific item that would, allow you to defeat the boss in a specific way, the way a Zelda game would. So there's definitely something here. The PlayStation says that I'm 64% of the way through the game. So it definitely seems like it's going to be a pretty short experience. I'm on chapter 4. I don't think I've spent, it's maybe been like 2 hours max that I've spent with this game, I'm pretty sure. So it's not going to be a super long experience, which is perfectly fine with me. There have definitely been points in the game already where I'm like, I just would like to get to a save spot, because those feel like a little further and in between than I would like them to be. It does do a nice thing of telling you when the last time it saved was, though. It'll be like, oh, you saved 11 minutes ago. And it's like, well, I guess I'm going to continue playing until I get to the next save, because I don't want to play that 11 minutes again necessarily. Yeah, there's some environmental puzzles, some light stuff there, some light platforming. You'll occasionally go into more of a side view and do that stuff. It's all, as a package, I think works pretty well together. What do you think, Dominic? I know you played a little bit.
Yeah,
of this.
Only got to chapter 2, so playing through it very much feels like a game for young. I mean, it seemed like for young people. I mean, to be honest, it seemed like young people can really get into this. Like people who have just started reading, maybe elementary school, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because there is some voice acting, but a lot of it is mostly just text boxes, unfortunately, which I was disappointed by. Well, just because they did have the voiceover initially, and like it's pretty good voiceover, and then it just went into that whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So like maybe like I don't know, third grade up maybe, or maybe later. I don't know. Like I don't know how smart kids start being now. But
me neither, and I've got one. So
they so yeah, I think it's like I mean, and I'm not saying like, oh, adults can't play it, but it means because it seems very like a nice, uh, like cool game. Like the how, like you said, now you go to the real world, like you're going from a book and then you're going to the real world. It's like the mystery of like what's happening is kind of, oh, that's what's really gets me wanting to play. Is like, hey, why is this happening? Like, why is like the things are happening this way, and something different. Um, yeah, the combat's simple. It's like it's pretty well so far. It's simple. Like unless it gets more complicated. And like I said, I'm only early on, but early on, what I've played so far, mean, I do like it. Like this is a interesting game that I do want to continue playing. So yeah, and it's something different.
Yeah,
So like yeah, it got me curious about it.
definitely.
All right, that's all you played?
Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Okay, so I also been playing some more Trails through Daybreak. And yeah, I got here like more adult because like yeah, this game is even though technically, if you want to go by all the games, I don't know how Japan like rates their media like with the age groups, but I feel like compared to what we do in America, this game is like you look at it, you think like young teens to teens
Right.
game, but then some of the dialogue and stuff and that they have is like I don't know. This could be teens to adult, but it's like I still think teens, but it's just that I don't like but it shouldn't be like if they like it's like teens, but their parents might get a little angry if they see something like that. Like they say something because it doesn't feel like it feels juvenile. Like it feels I don't know how to explain it. Like we have things that has cursing in and stuff like that. Like cursing, people mostly say adult, but there's juvenile way of cursing too. But you don't. But they will put M-rated or rated R because it'd be cursing. But it's like, hey, this movie it feels like it's for teenagers, but teenagers ain't supposed to be watching this because like I don't see adults wanting to see something like this. And like with this game, like I kind of don't want to say it's like it's a I mean no, I mean it's not that it's like juvenile, right? It's just that looking at it, like I just think like. Me in high school playing this, in which I would. I think it'll be rated. It'll be rated teen, whatever. But it's actually got some things that like because in the previous games never really happened. Like I actually went into a club where there were people doing exotic dancing, like strippers, and that wasn't a thing like in the previous games. Like you might hear talks about it, but you were always playing a younger guy. Or young people like say, oh, we can't see that stuff. Or people talk about stuff, but you never really see it. Like it's like almost like a joke, and then some people might feel uncomfortable, like, oh no, this ain't right, or something like that. Like a joking kind of way. Now, like we was going to this place, and I was like, wow, we're really going in here. And then you see these girls in scantily clad clothes dancing and stuff, and I'm like, wow, they really doing that this time. Never did it in any of the other games. Like you ever really seen it or anything. Like the most you seen was people in. Like, you might see them, like, in a bikini or something like that at the beach or at the casino, some sexy-looking woman or something like that.
Or when you put your character in their swimsuit that you paid DLC money for.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
You can see that. But, but this, I was like, wow, they really are, like, you don't see any no nudity or nothing, but it's just that the theme, like, actually having, like, a adult club and getting drinks. And I was like... I kind of like this because it's like I'm playing as an older person now. Like it's not like I'm playing as these teenagers and stuff who every time they go to a bar or something, like somebody will be joking and say, "I'll give you a drink." So, oh no, I'm underage, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's like you always got to play some goody two shoes a person, man. Or they say, "Oh, I'm working," and I was like, "Man, who gives a shit, man?" It's like you're on a job, man. Get a drink. It's like who cares. It's like you're under. Yeah, it's like under. Why would you? If somebody say you get a drink, you take it, man. But anyway, yeah, and then even like what was it? Yeah, a girl was even talking about how her parents like they died and they were in debt, and she was even thinking about even selling her body, but she ended up going to the strip club said, hey, at least you don't have to sell her body or something like that. And I was like, wow, they really even speak on it, on stuff like that. Like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, so this game is not like that's like you. I guess it would have to be to the team to M-rate it, but it just feels like it's like overall it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's like overall I wouldn't say call this an M-rated game, but I wonder if like I don't know what is rated honestly because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's even rated over here, but like but I bet if like those people in those what they call them when they do when the people who choose to say, hey, this is T-rated, they get those groups together and to look at the game. Yeah, but it's something they do. The ESRB, they get random people. What they like call it when they get focus group. Yeah, oh, okay. They get like a focus group. Like I always feel like maybe they would say, oh, this theme is a little adult or something, and it's like, man, but the overall game it doesn't really feel adult. I want to say like a really adult game. But yeah, but I will say this, like I think it's still it's still team rated game, but it seems like it's getting more mature. Like it's getting more mature than the previous games. Like yes, they still have funny quips and stuff happen, but they have more mature themes in this game. That I guess that's really what I'm trying to say. That I more so appreciate in that, like because it makes the world feel like okay, this is a world where like it's not just good or bad. It's just is. You know, I mean, it's just the world. And I think that's really the theme they're really going for because you are playing as a guy who's kind of in between the law. You're basically a mercenary. You're just a hire, but you won't directly you won't do nothing terribly bad, but you will do something to help somebody if it goes to lying or even theft, but if it's for a good reason, you know, a good cause. Like, it's not to a point where, oh, I can't do this because the law, I can't, you know, or something like that. Nah, I was like, hey, if I can get around the law and to sell this person, I'll do it. Or, like, it was an instance where, like, these bad guys, like, they were getting attacked by these monsters. They were trying to kill me, but these monsters came. Now, in the old game, you would have just helped those bad guys anyway, you know, because you're just that. Like, you're a good guy. Say, even though they're trying to kill you, hey, they don't deserve to get hurt. Like you feel that way because that's what good people do. This time they gave me an option. They said you can let them get beat up a bit and then fight them, and then fight them, so it'll be easier to beat up, or you can go and be the good guy. I said, yeah, get them get beat up a bit, because I was like, fuck it, they were trying to kill me. What the fuck do I give a shit? So really, I wish there was an option that said let them die, but yeah, so I just chose that, and like I don't know what, like I said, I still don't know what it means because they have a some type of label where it's like you get points for either lawful or chaos or gray, like gray area, something like that. Like you're gray. Like I guess the lawful is like, hey, like you always go by the law and help the citizens. Chaos, now I don't directly know what chaos is. I'm guessing you just said like fuck the world. I don't know what the fuck that means. I guess that's just straight up like, yeah, you're bad, and then gray is kind of like in between those, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, so I think I mostly am of the more of the chaos and gray area because I was like, this is different because all the other games I was such a freaking goody two shoes. I kind of like being this guy who's not really bad. It's just that everything I do, like the girl says, I don't feel like she said, I don't feel right doing this, but you're not breaking any laws. It's like, yeah, like I don't have to help this person, like if I don't want to, or I don't like that. Like there's somebody who I don't like and they got hurt. Like I could have helped them earlier. It's like, what the fuck? I don't care. It's like I don't like them that much. And so yeah, but I'm also ain't breaking any laws. But yeah, so I definitely like the tone of this one and how different it is. Though I do miss some of the side like activities you used to do in the other games. Like other games used to have like a card game system where you can play card games against certain people and you can fish. I have not been able to fish or play card games. I've been waiting because I don't know if it's not in the game or not. I haven't looked it up. So if it is, it's very late they're gonna give it to you very late in this game.
Feels odd.
Or it's not in there at all. And I'm like, wow, to not have neither one? That's crazy. Like, I can have a card game or fishing. It's like, I really took those out.
If we gave you the strip club, what do you want for other activities? Come on.
I can't just go to the strip club. That was just part of the story.
Come on.
Yeah, that was just part of the story. Like, it's not something I can just go to. Like, yeah, and then during the day, like, it's not like there's a day-night system. Like, it's based on the story, if it's day or night. And the only time it's open is at night, really. Because during the day, yeah, the girl was just sitting at a bar. But yeah, I like the game. The game is I like the tone. I wish they didn't take some of the stuff out, or maybe it's there later. I don't know, but it feels like I like how, like, it's not too different, but it's different enough. Like, whereas, like, yeah, that I like how tonally is becoming very more mature in some ways. Okay, I played a little bit more Marvel vs. Capcom Collection. I got a little further in the what was it, X-Men, the X-Men Children of Atom, but that is still the hardest one, man. Like, that is hardest. Like, I watched the Donkey video of that, and like he was seeing how hard it was, because he was getting beat up. Yeah. Yeah, that game, because then I wanted to play Marvel Superheroes or something like that. Man, it was so much easier to not only pull off moves, but just to beat the guys. That I was like, man, this is weird. And I put on easy, too. I put on easy on Children of Atom, and that shit is still hard. And I don't, like, what the fuck? I was like, was this is the, I guess because this is the arcade version. It's like, can you give us, like, the PlayStation version or something? Maybe that one wasn't that hard.
See, in all my quarters.
But yeah, so, and I still haven't seen any cheats online for it. So, because I was like, man, there's any cheats where I can just, like, I just want to get through it.
Yeah.
I just want to say, yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen anything up there. But yeah, I played a bit of that. I've also played some MLB. MLB The Show. Like, I mean, I've been playing that mostly all the time, every week, but that's really much to talk about. But this time I had done like a franchise mode, and I picked a new franchise. I picked the Colorado Rockies because they haven't won in there since they've been in existence. And actually, I don't know how old they are. I know they're not that old. But they have gone to the World Series, but they didn't win that year. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try bring them up. So I like the whole managing the team, like, outside the game, like getting trades and then like signing people and stuff. Like, I like dealing with that. Not all of it. Some things I leave for the computer, but I do like changing lineups and things of that nature and everything. Because sometimes I just simulate games just to see how they do, whatever. And sometimes I might like simulate and then I play a game just to say, hey, I want this one player to get their stats up and everything like that. It's like, so, like, I like dealing with that. Really, I wish it was like a better simulation of that. They do have like a manager mode, like, during games, but see, I want the option. Like, okay, I'm a manager, but then I want the option to be like, I want to jump in too. You can't do that. Yeah. They say, nope, you're a manager mode, so you just got to deal with it. And I get it, but I want that. I like the sense of being God. I like the sense of just doing what the hell I want. I don't care if it's not realistic or anything. I just like that feeling. Like, I want to feel like a manager, but then at the instance that we're losing, I want to be a player so I can go out and hit some home runs. Also, I wish it's been years, and I don't know. They don't care, because as long as all they care about is really the card stuff, because that's where the money is. But like the option of, like, they have an option where you can have the computer like auto, like, hey, you deal with the lineups, and or you deal with the roster stuff, and like I deal with the main lineups, and you deal with the roster moves, like the moving people from AAA to AA and stuff, because that's a lot to me to be paying attention to. So I let them deal with that. But then, I wish there was a way like, hey, you just deal with AAA and AA. Like, you just deal with those. Like, there's no option for that, because they'll be bringing up some people saying, "Hey, we brought this guy up because this guy's not doing well." And I'm like, I don't want you to bring that guy up. It's like I don't need him to be up. Like he's gonna stay there because I might not. I don't need him to be up here now. Because some people I'm thinking about trading. Like I was like, hey, they're good, but I already got a guy I want, and I just want to I might trade him, or this guy's gonna play this year and then he'll play next year or something like that. But they don't have an option where it can just deal with AAA and AA so that when I do, because I hate when they change my lineup in the major leagues. I don't care if they do it in AAA or AA. I'm like, that's fine. But the options only change lineup, auto change lineup or manual change lineup. It's not what league, which I'm like, come on, man. You know what's too much? I got to keep going to go to these other leagues. So sometimes I have it on manual, but I don't be going back. And I'm thinking like, that could hurt them because there could be somebody who's not doing well. And they don't need to go down to AA. They just need to be just on the bench. And I could put somebody in. But I got it on manual, and I don't know because I'm not really paying attention to those games. And I want the computer to just do it. And yeah, that's really I want them to fix like some of that stuff. And the thing is, it's the franchise mode, so it's not. They're not going to do but so much because they do their Diamond Dynasty, I guess is what it is for baseball. Yeah, because I forget, because Madden is... What is Madden? Madden's called what? The card stuff.
Oh.
Damn, I forgot what it's called. But I know like baseball is like Diamond Dynasty.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so that's it, man. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2014. We're going back 10 years. And you know what? I think I made a mistake, Daniel, because since like next week, what is it? Wait a minute, I can still do a week, right? Flashbacks for next week?
Next week will be the 28th.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I was thinking like, damn, should I just done this rest of September or what? All right, so no, we're good. All right, so now we're in 2014. Let's see what games came out in the flashback segment here. We got D4 came out for the Xbox One, and did it come on? It came on other systems too, right? Like, did it come on
It came
PS3?
out on PC eventually. I think that was it though, because this is a game that like was kind of focused around the use of the Kinect. I believe you could also play this game without it.
Yeah, it was just a PC. Yeah.
Yeah, but initially it was kind of like, hey, it's an Xbox One game that works with the Kinect because we don't have many of those, even though we forced you to get it with this system. It was kind of a novel thing. You were basically a detective. If I recall correctly, there was some like cat lady around you at the same time helping you solve these crimes. And you were basically investigating murders and stuff like that. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was one of those names. The reception, it got like a 76 on Xbox One for Metacritic, which is actually pretty good. But it got 67 on PC. I guess no Kinect function.
I was going to say, lacking the Kinect functionality, man. It's important.
That's like, so this game is not that good without the Kinect, it seems like. That's what they're trying to say.
Yep.
Yeah, the Storyteller gave it a 9. That's the highest score I see up here. Yeah. But yeah, so I think I actually might have played this. Not with the Kinect though. I think I just tried it, but I don't remember anything.
Yeah, there was a demo for it at the very least. Yeah. That's what I played of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think that's what I tried, but I just don't remember. I just don't remember anything.
Yeah,
I did in it.
It's a very weird
game.
Yeah,
but D4. Yeah, I remember them talking about this. What we got here? We got. Oh, I guess that's it. God damn, that was it for 2014. Damn, man. I mean, they had other games that came out, just weren't. They were not worth talking about.
Yeah, most of them were things that had already released on something else.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy Curtain Call for the 3DS. That might have been the first Theater Rhythm game.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, I guess it is. Unless it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it was another title, and there's a callback to. But I don't know. But I think that is the first one.
But, it's a music rhythm game with Final Fantasy music. I don't know that there's much more to say about that.
Oh, yeah, we just alienated all those fans who love that music. All right, so now we're going back 20 years to 2004, and we got Pokemon Emerald was released in Japan. This is their, what is it, like the third game, and what series was it?
Diamond and Pearl, I think? Or no, Ruby and Sapphire, sorry.
Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, yes. This is this was the third game that came out after Ruby and Sapphire, and that's the one you had, right? Because I borrowed it.
I've got this one. It was probably one of the last ones I really bought. I mean, obviously, I got Black and White for the DS, but yeah, this is definitely where I'm kind of trailing off the series.
Yeah, and I beat it. I don't ask me what anything I did in this game or what the new Pokemon were, because I don't remember anything from this game, honestly. And I did play through it. It got a 76 on Metacritic, which I think that's reasonable for Pokemon games, honestly. Yeah. Like all of them.
It feels surprisingly low, but at the same time, it is absolutely on point. A 6.5 from Game Informer is kind of crazy, though.
Yeah, they were probably like me. It's we tired of this shit.
They had the audacity to. It's
I think they probably did give. I think they did give the other ones probably a higher score though. Like Ruby and Sapphire, I don't think it was that low. So it's probably more of that. They probably didn't think it was worth.
Yeah, this is just a retread, basically.
Yeah. It's not like, hey, you Pikachu. Being like the Pikachu one, at least you can say hey, this is like the TV show. It's like you got a Pikachu coming with you. All right, because IGN Craig Harris stated that while he was not enthused by Emerald, he admitted that it was a solid game and that it was the best version to get for people who hadn't played Ruby or Sapphire yet.
Which makes sense.
One up, Christian Nutt felt that it was the definitive version. Are you laughing? of the Pokemon? Was also a rehash. I know he had a great time in grade school. I mean, he had the best of times. Or he's a big dude who's super strong, but I've never seen him before.
I'm looking at Ruby and Sapphire to see, and they unfortunately on the wiki page don't have a Game
Metacritic?
Informer. They've got a Metacritic. They don't have a Game Informer. It was an 82
the Game Informer.
one.
That. GameSpy's Phil Theobald felt that it was a good game and it was out on its own right, but felt like the same game as the other ones. Yeah, that's understandable. All right. Say Emerald launched at the top spot and was 791,000 copies.
Jeez.
I know, man. I mean, what's the population of Japan? And then
less than that, maybe.
And sold in its first week, and 372 copies sold in the first day. It was the fourth best-selling game in Japan for 2004. It sold 1.4 million for the year, ranked behind Dragon Quest V, not understandably, Hand of the Heavenly Broad, and Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green combined. God darn. Yeah, man. Nintendo's, they got too much fucking money. I swear.
That's why they can sit on games, Dominic.
I mean, but to not even have, fine, you sit on games, but not even have games look good. Like Pokemon, like the newest Pokemon, what the fuck? Why are we, this should be a whole lot better than that, what it is. Alright, so now we're going, we're still in 2004, and now we got Def Jam Fight for New York.
Yeah.
This is my friend's favorite, well, it's mine too. I know it's your least favorite Def Jam, well, I would say least favorite because you didn't, but you only played two of them, right?
I played
did you play?
the the demo of the like side the fighting style one with the remixed backgrounds and stuff.
I actually played the freaking
I actually
game.
kind of like that one from the demo at least, but
whatever. It was horrible. All right. So now your opinion means fucking nothing. Def Jam Fight for New York, which is the best Def Jam out there. But I get it. It's more of a fighting game than the first one. First one was more of a wrestling
100%
type of game. The gameplay wasn't. I mean, I liked them in both of them, but I don't know. I didn't have a real preference. The story of Def Jam Fight for New York was just better. I think I'm into stories, so I was like, I like that one better. And this, I know my friend, he would love this game. I mean, he even got the PSP one, I think, that came out with that one. Because I think he said, because he wanted to take it handheld. Mm-hmm. Yeah, PSP, handheld to his job. So this is a sequel to Def Jam Vendetta. And this time it's like the guy who was a big bad in that one, like, you are working for him. Yeah, like he's off. Yeah. Who is Chris Judge, talks for him, who is from Stargate, and also the guy talks for the current God of War, Kratos. So now you're working with D-Mob and you're trying to get him back, basically, get his empire back or whatever. The hero is introduced to Blaze, which is you, Method Man. Well, you're not Blaze, you're the hero. And Sticky Fingers, and is conscripted into D-Mob's gang. The hero builds a reputation for winning numerous fights in clubs for D-Mob and give his own save file. So you get a save file, so you get to pick like what girl you want from some these females. What we got here? Lil Kim, Shawana, Kamara Lee, Cindy J. Of course, Snoop Dogg's in here. You got Busta Rhymes, Fat Joe, Danny Trejo.
It was kind of crazy though, because like a lot of the like big name rappers.
He's my favorite rapper, man.
But a lot of them had like different names. Like Snoop Dogg was Crow.
Fat Joe Crack.
Rude.
But it was. I was like, come on, man. Why? Yeah, Snoop Dogg was like he was the leader of the other rival gang. And wait, hold up. I think so. After the first match, was it Ice-T or Snoop Dogg? It was it was Snoop Dogg.
Snoop was Crow, and he was the leader of the opposing.
Okay. And and I was, because I like why they. I guess because it's supposed to be like, this is a new world, so they're playing guys.
But it was only some of them. Like Method Man was Blaze, like you said. Redman was Doc. Busta Rhymes was Magic. Like, why did they feel the need to give these specific guys kayfabe names?
So not all of them had it. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, man, it was cool, man. Like I just played through the story. I never really played like just the verses. So in verse, you can just play as. You could pick a guy you could play as, right? Yeah. And I never did. that. I always said I was gonna go back and do that, but it never happened. It never happened. But man, like I know because licensing reasons and stuff like that. Like this is gonna be hard to bring this game back. You know, even like, hey, play the whatchamacallit version, like a remastered version or something. Like, man, the only way you can play this is if you have the original game. Or emulation, which I did download the first one for emulation to play, but yeah, man, this was cool. I mean, first thing about Def Jam Vendetta was awesome. Like, oh my god, you put on these freaking you got these rappers and they fighting, and then oh man, that shit was cool. That shit was awesome.
I mean, I gotta admit, like they give them credit. Like they definitely evolved that engine for this game. You know, it maybe took it in a direction that I wasn't as keen on, but like they didn't just rest on their laurels and like do the same game again with more people. Like they definitely evolved it in a way that a lot of people liked.
Yeah, the sequel was called Def Jam Icon. That's what it was. Yeah, that's when the series started going down.
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got here? We got Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War, man. This is the first Dawn of War game. Warhammer. This was like a real-time strategy game. So a la, I guess you would say, like Warcraft or something like that. But this is with Warhammer characters. This is like those guys. They're basically like Dungeons and Dragons guys. Like hardcore, freaking tabletop games, and then they put in this, which is it fits. It's like, hey, this freaking universe could do this. It could do this probably for a lot of different factions and different shits because how big that freaking world is. So yeah, this is based off the 40,000 one. And it's sold there, 7 million copies. Have sold worldwide as of 2013. Well, see, that's different. That's this game came out like like in 2004. I mean that's good, but that it's also a long time. It's also like a long period. Like yeah, it got rated like a 86. I remember reading about it because I was like, yeah, because I used to like these type of games. So I was kind of jealous that like, oh, I didn't have a powerful enough PC to play this game or whatever. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I did. I was able to play Warcraft 3. Was it more powerful than Warcraft 3? I don't know. But yeah, this game, ended up playing it years later. Like I ended up getting it because it was on cheap on Steam, and I did like it. Yeah, I liked it. I mean,
when
of course,
you're going through your true nerd phase, wanting to play Warhammer games.
Yeah, see, I don't know nothing about the tabletop. I did meet a guy though who was into that stuff. Like I saw him bring his pieces when I used to work at. I mean, they were pretty neat, man. And yeah, he said it was very time consuming. And he said, man, that was one reason he and his wife had splits. Had splits built, and I was like, oh,
rough.
But yeah, that this game was pretty good, and like and with that license, I mean that it fits with this territory, like the sci-fi territory, and darn, they can even do this regular Warhammer, which I don't. They have done, they've done. No, I don't know. I don't know if they have done like a regular like real time strategy of Warhammer, like not the 40,000.
Yeah.
But that would just be like this. Like this is StarCraft, and then that'll be their Warcraft. Basically, that's essentially what it would be.
Yeah, that's what they do basically.
But actually, technically, they probably came out before it, because Warhammer. I don't know when Warhammer first was introduced as a tabletop, but I'm sure it was before StarCraft, and they can just say, "Hey, you stole our shit." He stole our shit in the game. Anyway, what else we got here? We got Second Sight came out 20 years ago, Daniel. And this is when Vin Diesel was on the front of the game. I always thought it was Vin Diesel, man. I always thought it was like, hey, that's Vin Diesel.
Well,
but now tell me about this game, because I don't remember everything.
So this was basically this came out around the same time. I think we already talked about it as the other like telepathy game. Now I can't think of the name of it. Do you remember what it is off the top of your head?
PsyOps?
Yes, PsyOps, yeah. But this one was developed by Free Radical, the developers of God, I'm blanking on everything, Dominic. What's that? The first person shooter that they had, Time Splitters. So I was very excited about this because I was a GameCube guy and I heard about how great Time Splitters was on the PlayStation. So I always thought it looked really cool and I was jealous of that, but I never got a chance. And then this came out and I kind of saddled my bags on this one as being like the superior between the two of the telepathy games. I think reviews wise, this one probably did a little worse, but it's still decent ratings. It's got 77 on GameCube, 76 on PS2, 75 on Xbox. So obviously GameCube was superior, and it has nothing to do with probably getting like an inflated score from Nintendo Power with its 4.7 out of 5.
Oh man, that's crazy. How the hell? Yeah, why is that one? That's gotta be because of like some exclusive Nintendo one. But yeah. So did you play any of this? Have you played this game?
Yeah, I own this game. I played a couple of levels of it.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, you
I
didn't
didn't beat it. Nah.
Oh, why did you own this game? Like, what did you? It just looked.
It
good?
looked awesome to me. I like I said, Free Radical. I was very jealous of those games, and Time Splitters 2, I think, did end up coming on kind of everything.
They phoned it in. On this.
Hard disagree from Nintendo Power. Thank you very much. Yeah, it definitely looked like something right up my alley back in the day, and it probably just fell in to the time where I was starting to get more money than I had time. This was the year I graduated, so I would have been coming into getting a job at this point. So yeah, I started buying games for myself and then not playing them, and that's where I am now, Dominic.
All right. So what else we got here? We're still going here in 2004, man. They had some games. So we got Star Wars Battlefront, man, came out for the Windows, PS2, and Xbox. And man, this was I believe I got this when this came out. I think I went to GameStop and bought this game because I really wanted. Yeah, I was so anticipating this game. This was one of those games I was looking forward to. I was like, yes. And when I finally got it, and I loved it. I loved the game. I enjoy it. I get to be in these wars and stuff, and like fighting battles, and it was cool. And this is before online. I didn't play online. It wasn't like I didn't have a. If this
the online adapter.
I didn't have an online adapter. I don't even know if the PlayStation 2 one had the online. Maybe it did. I gotta look at it. But I'm not sure if that particular one did. But anyway, I was just playing against bots and just enjoying my time. I mean, I think most people were. Most people were. I mean, honestly,
it definitely wouldn't have been a majority of people playing on the network adapter if it was.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was pissed off when they finally bought Battlefront again. The one that just came out more recently, and there wasn't a thing where you could just play against bots. So I was like, that is what most people did from the beginning. It's like, why can't you just have it where I can just play with bots? Why do I have to play online? Why do I have to be online all the time? I mean, look, you're gonna have people gonna play this online, all right? Like, can you just have it more say, hey, yeah, you're just playing against bots? I mean, god damn. Yeah, I just did not understand that. And then not have also not having really like a single player. They put it in the freaking second one. They phoned that in too. I mean, they just whatever. It's such a disappointment. Yeah, but this game was great, man. And I'm guessing like is it like you still don't get the new ones? Are they still not good? The ones that not the new ones, the remastered ones that have come out. Are they?
I think people were relatively positive about those after their initial. Yeah, they had some initial issues.
Oh, okay. So those issues have been fixed. Okay.
Yeah, I believe people were generally happy with the state that they ended up in.
All right. So I guess So get those then. Even though technically. If you got like Game Pass or something, like you have the EA, because EA has those games and they're still on. Just that I don't know if anybody's online though, because I remember I tried to play. I think it was Star Wars Star Wars Battlefront 2, the newest one, and I tried to I was like, oh, let me see, is anybody playing online? And I think it was only like 2 of us. Or 3 of us or something like that. And I remember cause I was just seeing because we were ganging up on this one Ewok. And so it wasn't, It's not many people. It wasn't many people online, but it could have been the time. I don't know, but I just have a feeling that yeah, it's not a lot of people probably playing that, and that's you know what, and I think thinking on that, it's pretty sad because that the license of Star Wars, it should have a real long effect on certain games. And I mean, I just think the licenses have gone downhill. Period, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like it's gone. Yeah. Well, based on internet, it's told me because of the wokeness.
Obviously, yeah.
Has brought it down. So, well, I mean that the one you gotta get Trump in office and he can help fix this. All right. So
I'm not willing to go that far that way.
Where we at here? I got a lot of fucking windows open. All right. Katamari Damacy.
Yeah.
Damn, this is when it first came out?
It feels too new or too old. I can't remember which one, but mostly new.
Yeah, 86. And this is a game, I always heard how great it was. I did not give a damn.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what the hell this game is. It's like, there's no way in hell I'm paying money to buy this game on the PS2. It's like, I was like, I'm not buying this game. But, man, this game was, I mean, and you know what? I don't think I ever played it.
Oh, yeah? Not even like the Xbox demo or something like that?
No.
Wow.
I don't think I ever touched this game. I mean, I just accepted that it was a good game, and I just never played it. Darn, and I wish I could. I mean, I guess I can.
There's a demo for the re-roll. Well, actually, I don't know if there is. There was like a timed demo or like a time exclusive demo of the re-roll on the Switch at one point, but I don't know if that's still available.
Yeah, but I mean, not that I didn't think it didn't look good or something. It's just that I wasn't gonna pay my money for it. But I thought, I mean, they look cool. Like, oh look, you got everybody just collecting on this big ball, like around the city.
Yeah.
And what was the goal?
You were basically trying to get your ball to a certain size, so you would start out trying to grab like the smallest things until you could get big enough to roll over some slightly bigger things, and you worked your way up from there. It had some like puzzle solving elements where it's like, okay, how do I get big enough to now grab this next biggest thing? There's got to be something somewhere else. It's a game that, like, in a lot of ways, I really like the idea of it, but then actually playing it doesn't feel like it executes all that well. The controls have been awkward with every single one of the games that I've played. You know, they use both sticks usually to kind of get you moving. And just the way you like pivot around the ball and move it in that way, it always feels awkward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. But yeah, this one is like some awards, like best innovation and stuff and things of that nature. You know, it was Game Developers Choice Awards. Like, yeah, just how inventive, how creative it was. I mean, it was, and I mean, it's a cool, like those puzzle games. And yeah, you know what, PlayStation. I mean, well, this wasn't really PlayStation. It was Namco, really, who were the publishers of it. But it was just exclusive on PlayStation 2 at the time, and eventually it started.
It wasn't until like the 360 when it came out on other stuff.
But this game was like high praise, man, all throughout the media. All right. So what else we got here? We also got Rome Total War came out in 2004. Now this is a strategy game, a real-time strategy game, where you build like, well, actually it's like a mix because it starts off like you have the map where there's not real time, like time is not going and doing them while you're on the map. Now you move, you pick the move and to a certain area, and then something happens, and it's like, hey, do you want to fight or something like that, or you might have to fight.
Yes, I always want to fight
this battle. And then you click on it, and then during the battle, it goes into another screen. Now you're in a battle, and you see all these soldiers. Like this is like the first one you actually see like all like it feels like a big army you have, and you can kind of zoom out and they can get a little closer, to see the men, but it's like all these men, and then they go battle. Like you can tell them what to do. You can tell like a certain amount of them what to do. Like, hey, you want them to go flank right or left or something like that, or like hold back, and then you fight them. So fight these battles that look really cool, man. It's like, oh man, this is like war and everything.
Yeah,
you see these
the
guys.
Sheer amount of people, it was crazy.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I used to like. Man, that's great. Always want to play those games, always. And I think the first time I really got my PC, I tried it. It will not run very. It was so slow that I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this. Right. And even till today, Daniel, even with this PC, I think I can just play maybe this one, because when I try to play like the Warhammer ones, like Total War, woo, that thing is just like is chugging, or it takes a long time to get, it takes a long time just to get to the part of the battle, man. Yeah. I was like, you know what, this ain't worth it. I said, man, I really want to play this game, but like the only way I can play is streaming. So I just that's the only way to play it. And what sucks is that I can't cheat though when I'm streaming. So I guess that's the only bad thing. But yeah, but it just looks so good seeing those battles just open. Wow, this man was just wide open. I'm sorry, I'm watching Norfolk State playing. I don't know what this stands for. VMI, is that what is that? What does the VMI stand for?
Virginia Military Institute.
Oh, okay. That's the only place I would think now, Daniel. I was going to say Vermont something.
Is it like a yellow, red, and white logo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them.
Well, yes. Oh, that's them? That's Virginia? Okay, all right.
Virginia Military Institute.
Oh, man. So they're
in Lexington, Virginia.
Not next to Kentucky?
Nope. The Virginia of Kentucky. It's like, what's the one in Ohio that's like you wouldn't think is in Ohio?
Miami?
Yeah.
Miami?
Yeah, exactly.
That one where, Mike Tyson and Mike Tyson Mysteries, he went there, but he was wearing all shorts and stuff. He thought he was going to Miami. And then I liked it because when he came, the guy had asked him, and like he said, oh, you didn't think you were going to Miami, beach, where you said, no. Saying, I'm not, what, you think I'm stupid? He said, I know it was Ohio. It's like, and anybody who thought so, say, they should be shamed. They should shame themselves, something like that. It's like, anyway, yeah, but we're on Total War, yeah, that. And also, you said it was used in the History Channel show?
Yeah, it's called Decisive Battles, and they basically use the game engine to reenact old battles. Which was kind of, it was novel back in the day. I remember them advertising it like, oh, we're using this video game thing. And it's like, oh, that's awesome.
I remember seeing, like, clips of it. I never really watched it, but I remember seeing things of that nature around that. And that seems pretty cool. Yeah, and so yeah, that came out, and last but not least, we got X-Men Legends came out 20 years ago, man. This was almost my introduction into like the RPG kind of action loot genre, which I still don't. What is Diablo's genre actually called? Like, what is that called?
Dungeon crawler.
Yes, Dungeon Crawler. Yes, okay. All right, that's what it is. Yes, Dungeon Crawler. So this is kind of my introduction to really a Dungeon Crawler. I mean, even though technically I played Diablo, but I thought it was boring, so I didn't stick with it because my dad had gotten it because he was getting all those Blizzard games. He was like just getting Blizzard games. Like he got Warcraft, and then he got Warcraft 2, then he got Diablo, then he got StarCraft. So, oh look, it's Warcraft in space, and yeah, so he got Diablo 2. And then, but then he had already moved out, so I don't know what games he was playing. Yeah, because I don't think he was really getting those games again. But anyway, X-Men Legends was like really, because that's what essentially what it was. It was like an RPG. It was like, hey, X-Men RPG is coming out. I thought, oh, well, cool. And it was in the way that's kind of like Diablo-ish, or like kind of that dungeon crawler way where you're in the isometric view or like the top view or whatever, and you're kind of going around beating up enemies, and you're collecting basically the stuff that falls out of them, and and which helps you power up, and like yeah, you don't get costumes and stuff, though. I think you get them. You do get them, but they're kind of, and not in the way of like you beat the enemies. I think maybe there might be chests out there and stuff that you find. That's how you unlock it. I know you get comic books; they be around, and like you collect that. But yeah, and so I never put like two and two together. Like this was like that genre. I just thought like, hey, this is just this game, and it was just done this way, and I was like, wow, I actually really like this. Like it's like I had no idea what to think of this game initially, and yeah, because I didn't get it, because I didn't really know what this game was. My friend got it though, and he was like, hey, he liked it, and I went and played with him because it was 2 player, and I said, wow, this is good. I really like this game, and yeah, man, it was fun. I liked how you use the powers and how you can combine them with the other guys. It had a voice acting through most of it, and at the time the cutscenes were pretty cool. Now looking at them now, they look like, man, they need to go through the ringer again to high def them or something. but but yeah, man, they this game was great. Like I really liked it, and then this was the start. This was the start of how they went from here to X-Men Legends 2, then to Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, those were yeah, this was the start of those, and this is like early Activision, man. I mean, I say early Activision. Actually, Activision's been for a while. This is like maybe mid Activision, you would say. Like when they were still making all these other games. Like Call of Duty was not the it was not the only game that they had. They had these licenses, and they used them well. Like they didn't. I mean, they have, well, yes, there were some throwaways because those were the Game Boy, but they were but they used them. I mean, they have used them well though. They had some really kick-ass games that came out under them.
Yeah.
Now I know that you didn't. 'Cause I remember you always saying like you didn't like them that much. These type of games.
Yeah, I think because of the style of gameplay, I never really gave them much of a chance. So I never really engaged with these games, which is surprising for as big a Marvel fan as I am, and as positive as most people speak on them. I'd be interested if it weren't for the fact that the latest one on the Switch seemed like it was hampered by the underpowered hardware. Like I probably would have given that a chance.
Yeah, that's a damn freaking shame. And that I guess they didn't want to put no more money into the patch it to make it work better with their hardware.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, god damn, and that it can go nowhere else.
Yeah, because Nintendo published that one, right? Wasn't that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, so. I think it was, and that's why I was a little upset about that. I was like, I don't know if I like that.
Microsoft needs to buy out that contract so they can get it on Game Pass.
But yeah, I mean, shucks, I wouldn't mind them like just doing issue up these old
collection.
Ones.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. So and this story in the X-Men Legends, the story really deals with like Magneto, like taking like trying to the whole Brotherhood thing. So it kind of deal with that storyline. The next one was like I was really waiting for that next one. I was like really anticipating that one because that was what Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yeah, and that was awesome. I was like, yes, and that game was long. Oh, that was long. Like they put a lot in that game. All right, so that's it for the flashback segment. So I guess we take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right,
and we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, first up, Dominic, I think we had previously mentioned a Project Renee in regards to Sims. Everybody was speculating that it was going to be Sims 5 and would be announced somewhat soon. I feel like that was a couple of months ago, maybe even at the end of last year, the latest, but apparently it has come out that Project Renee is actually a multiplayer edition for Sims 4, and Sims fans are not happy about that. Apparently Sims 4 is not as beloved entry in the series as I was maybe under the impression of. People are wanting to move on to Sims 5, and apparently EA is not.
Darn. Yeah, I mean, they don't want to put the money to it. Maybe, like, I mean, I don't know what to say because I'm not really into community. I mean, why are people ready to move on? Like, what is wrong with the franchise right now?
Yeah, I wonder. And what do they think would be solved by moving to a new numbered game? Because, like, as we've seen in the past, we just talked about the Sims 3 and 4 in the flashback segments over the past couple of weeks. And yeah, it always seems like kind of a rocky start because you're moving from this platform that had a ton of DLC and years of updates and stuff to a brand new platform where they kind of start over again. They obviously add some new things that are more like ground level integral to the gameplay experience. But for the most part, all the content is kind of lost there. So I wonder what it is that's making everyone want to jump ship to a brand new thing there. All right, next up, Dominic. This one kind of came out of nowhere. A new Like a Dragon game was announced. Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is set to release on February 27th of 2025 for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. And it looks like it's going to star Majima, and he's going to go on some pirate adventures. There's some ship driving and some hacking and slashing. This looks like an interesting twist on the Yakuza / Like a Dragon series. What do you think, Dominic?
Yeah, man. I mean, I like Majima. I mean, he's awesome and cool, man. So I'm definitely okay with it. I still haven't played Like a Dragon yet. I still haven't got that game yet. But
is he typically like an antagonist in the series?
Yes and no. I mean, he was early on, but like he's like a more
like an anti-hero?
I guess an anti-hero.
Okay.
I guess you can say, yeah, like an anti-hero. But he's mostly good. But he's just sometimes he's against, but he just like to have his fun. But he is usually on Kiryu, who was the main guy of Yakuza. He's always usually on his side. I mean, he always likes to. He always thought he was a rival or something, but he never really wanted to kill him or like some die. I mean, or he would say like, if anybody's going to kill you, it's going to be me or something like that. But
right.
But he is a friend. I mean, he's still a friend though. Like Kiryu has always been. He's done things for Kiryu, and Kiryu's done things for him. So I think at the end of the day, they are friends. Like they're just it's a weird relationship, but they are friends.
I gotcha. Yeah. This looks like it's going to be, just as over the top as any of the previous Yakuzas have been.
I'm just saying, like, how these games sell. I mean, I guess they just don't want to do no dub. well, no, my fault. They did do dub for Like a Dragon. I'm sorry. That was dubbed. Okay. It was the other ones that weren't dubbed. Yeah. Because I was surprised. It wasn't dubbed. I mean, it was dubbed.
Now that makes me wonder, though, because this almost feels like kind of one of these offshoot style games. So
so I'm wondering if they want to dub this
it
one
or not. Yeah.
Yeah, because Like a Dragon was a long time till they had dubbed one since the PlayStation when it came out. The first one came out. Yeah. That was the last one. And so, oh man, I would love for them to. Oh, and they did dub. What's the other one? The other one I played.
The Man Detective. With No Name one? Oh, no. Yeah. I can't. Why am I blanking today on all this stuff?
Judgment.
Yes. Yeah, Judgment.
That was dubbed. Yeah, and I liked it. They were good dubs. And it definitely makes me get to the game a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It does. I mean, yeah, because I can just listen. I'm not reading a lot. like trying to really get what's going on.
Do they have other characters in the games typically that speak different languages? Like, would they potentially have someone that speaks English and that just be in English, or is that never really been the case?
So yes, well, actually, I don't think they speak it. Okay. I think it's just in text.
I only asked because I was telling you Samoa Joe is shown in the trailer for this, and like obviously he would most likely be speaking English unless something else is going on. Somebody else is using
like
his voice.
Maybe yeah. At the sequel, I mean, I never played the sequel. I'm assuming the sequel was in English too, just like the original one. So maybe. So that yeah.
I mean,
maybe
hopefully they're seeing now that it's a big enough success that they can put the money into localizing it in that way.
Yeah, of course, there's going to be people saying like, "Man, that they shouldn't have to," or that hey, the dub is always better and stuff like that. And I just get tired of people saying it. I was like, okay, you know what? I just say this. You're right. It's better. I want a dub though. I'm like I would just let them have it.
It's
I don't
better,
really care.
But it's more consumable for me, an English speaker, this way.
Like I'm not going to argue what's better. I just know what is easier for me to understand.
Yeah.
And thing is, and people like that, is like you said, like the gatekeep, and like something. And some people who are like me, they even respond to them like, so why are you trying to gatekeep something that you like? Like just be okay. Yeah, if people are saying they don't like it dubbed. You saying it is better is not going to make people just like it, but they can still like the show. Like the show because they're talking about a show. It's like, and it's like, like why even do that? Because you take that away. I don't. That's not good. That just hurts the creator really because it just says like, well, they're not going to. No, some people are not going to watch this.
Yeah,
they're not going to watch it. Like and that's the thing. Like or this game. Like I doubt I probably can convince them if it was dubbed to play those Yakuza games. My friends, but I couldn't. If it was a dub, I was like, you feel like reading it. I mean, go ahead. I mean, it's a good game. But I don't mean some people. Nah, they'll be like, oh man, it's not English, or it's like, yeah, I'm not. Or it's like, oh, I look at the cutscene, but I didn't read what they were saying though. Or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is cool. And Darren, that's kind of around the same time the other game, so it's like a year later.
Yep, exactly. I'm surprised at how. I guess I'm not that surprised at how fast they're pumping them out because they've been doing that for quite a while. But at the same time,
I mean, they have the same engine and stuff. So yeah, So, hey, that's how you do games, people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I definitely joked with you while watching the trailer that, this is the power of the PS5 Pro. But at the same time, I am perfectly content with a game that looks the way that this game does and getting it out the door and not costing $400 million or whatever and putting your development studio in jeopardy. That makes it so I don't have to buy more hardware too.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic. Next up, speaking of more hardware, PlayStation 30th anniversary. They're doing hardware that looks in the retro style of the PlayStation, the retro gray and the colorful logos. They're doing a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 Pro, PlayStation 5 Slim. They're also doing a PlayStation Portal, shockingly enough, in the same color scheme, and also their fancy Edge controller as well as regular controllers. This stuff looks good.
One? The Edge one. What is that one?
That is basically the Xbox equivalent Elite one, the one where you can switch out the thumbsticks in case the stick drift gets too bad. Stuff like that.
Man, because that one looked good, and I was like, yeah, the other one. It looks okay, but it's not. The other one, yeah,
the Edge one looks
why can't they put the same color scheme? God darn.
Yeah.
Man, they know what they were doing.
Oh, so they absolutely
look
did.
Ugly.
Yeah.
That made it look a little more ugly.
Yeah.
A little more plain. And then so people can want to get our new one.
They're doing they've got a limited number of the PlayStation 5 Pros that they're selling. I think it's like 12,300 or something like that. And that bundle apparently comes with the console, of course, a PlayStation Edge controller, a regular controller, the stand, and also a cover in case you want to get the disc drive. So that's nice that they actually let you that they do that.
For $700?
No, so they have not announced the price yet, and people are speculating like that could be almost over $1,000, which is just absolutely absurd. Because I've been seeing a lot of people say like basically when you limit the number like that, you're basically just making a thing for scalpers. Like there's no way the amount of people, like regular people that want to get this, are going to be able to get their hands on one of these. And that's unfortunate because it really is a cool piece of kit. They even like the boxes for these things are the retro style of the PlayStation 1, like the original PlayStation 1. You had asked me why, when we were talking about this before recording, why I prefer the look of the PlayStation 5 Pro to the PS5 in this gray. I think part of it is like the fins in the middle. They kind of remind me of the fins on the side of the original PlayStation. And there's just something like aesthetic about that works for me. They also have been doing a good job of only showing that thing from the side, so it looks like it's a normal shape, as opposed to the PlayStation Slim, which they just like turn around all willy-nilly. But yeah, these are definitely really nice looking consoles, especially for people that are nostalgic about, that era of stuff, and PlayStation specifically. All right, Dominic, in some other PlayStation news, there is some strong reports going around that there's going to be a state of play next week on September 24th. Obviously, nothing is official yet, but Jeff Grubb of Giant Bomb has basically said, like, it seems like it's basically a guarantee that it's going to be on this day. And that seems to be in line with the fact that the ESRB has apparently rated a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. So that long rumored game sounds like it may be on the way, potentially very soon. And in even bigger news, Dominic, Days Gone may be getting a remaster, the game that no one has ever asked for. It's just becoming a meme at this point, right? Like, you sent me the meme about how PlayStation is so like, oh, you like remasters, we're just going to remaster our console. Like, this seems almost like a step further, even more, where it's like, oh, this game that we've only talked poorly about, how we're never going to make a sequel to it, we're also giving you this game. Like,
yeah,
in what universe?
Like, why would you remaster a game that... it doesn't make sense. It's like, man, this is so weird, and like whatever. Like, Darren. I mean, this is a sad games from these big companies, man. This is a sad state right here. I can tell you that. This
is the result of PlayStation being in first place and not knowing how to make a game that doesn't cost them somewhere in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I feel like
it's like
a new game, I should say.
Those guys at Nintendo, how are they doing it? Why can't you do it?
They're not trying to make games in 8K. That's why I'm like, yeah, they need to find the balance. Like, you can have your big titles, you can have your Spider-Mans and your Gods of Wars and your Horizons, but you should also be able to do more Astrobots.
What's your Japanese developers doing?
Just Astrobot.
All those games
all the rest of them are gone.
European or American.
Astrobot and Gran Turismo. That's the only thing that they're doing out there. They don't have any more Japanese studios than that. Like it's really wild that yeah, they really aren't releasing anything. I mean, was it Sony Japan Studio that they shut down? Yeah, that was shut down in 2021. But yeah, it really feels like it's Team Asobi, who is the team that did Astro Boy, and Polyphony Digital. Is that the name of the team behind Gran Turismo? It feels like those are the only ones left.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really come to down to that. Hey, it's really third parties, and it's like
Yeah.
because third parties were at a time, and I mean, I'm gonna say until they come on Xbox, they're exclusive to PS5 or PS4, like they're exclusive to over there, and so that's essentially like for the consumer, I don't really matter really who published it. Along, it was just where hey, can I got games to play? So I guess that's it. Like you're just going by that. You're just going with hey, we got the console, and we're just gonna remaster our old games and just let our that those third party people put out the new games.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It's like yeah, we got because they're not on our competitors box.
It counts. Yeah. And they've found themselves in first place as a result of it. So
Yeah,
they're unfortunately not going to learn their lesson
I don't know how long
from
that plan was going to. They was going to rest on like plan, but I mean, like, because now that you see these guys saying like, oh, well, I see Square Enix say they're going to put more on other competitors, and I guess time it to be at least close, like at least the PC one coming at the same time. Damn, but but that, but that's I mean, they just said that, so like it's not like this. Like Sony could have been thinking this for a while, and just saying like, look, yeah, we don't have no plans for games, but we should be okay because we got these exclusive games that's not coming on Xbox, or they're coming on our system first, and then so we're good. Final Fantasy stuff, it's just on our system. It's not their first party, but is on their system.
Yeah.
It is on their system. And it's on their system first. It's not. And it comes on PC. Like Final Fantasy 16 just came out for PC. Like it's yeah. That's what it seems like, and it's like whatever. It's like I don't like. I think that always comes to question for me is that do we like as a person who just I'm a person to play games. It's not that there are no games out. There are like, are we we're not at a point where there's like no games.
No.
So does it matter for me that Sony isn't doing anything exclusive?
I don't think so. I mean, the only reason, I mean, I guess this goes to the thing we always talk about is kind of the only reason to like champion a company or root for a company is to make sure they continue to exist so that they compete with another company so that it keeps our best interests in mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it doesn't really matter if Sony's just, putting out drivel like Days Gone remaster, as long as there are other companies putting out games on their hardware, which will enable them to continue to make hardware. But at the same time, it does feel like, we saw like a Japan studio for Sony get shut down. So like, it feels like we're losing those creatives in some way or another. So like, you don't want to see the company.
No, I don't want
fail.
Not that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to see that. But I'm just saying like how often we see those games like from Sony, like we're not seeing them anymore.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, maybe just slower output. That's what I'm saying. It's like maybe they're spending a longer time making these games. But you know what? But that also comes down to money too. So it's like when those games come out, how much did they cost to make, and then how much did they needed to make, so it can be sound as successful. Because like right now we know there's a Wolverine game coming out.
Right.
I don't know what Naughty Dog's doing though.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. I don't know that we do know at all.
Yeah, and
Outside
I
of
don't know
maybe
what
Last of Us
the
3.
Ghost of Tsushima guys, what are they doing?
Allegedly Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's alleged. So we haven't got anything official.
No.
Yeah, but I'm just saying about how long these games are taking, whatever they're working on. I'm like, man, like what will it be worth it? Like I'm not saying like not for us. I mean, it's a good game. It's a good game.
Yeah.
But like for them, would it have been worth it?
But also for both.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because that's
I'm
5 to 7 years that now we don't get another thing from Naughty Dog, a different thing from Naughty Dog, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If Naughty Dog is just doing another Last of Us, man, I'm going to be upset. But, I mean, if people like it, that's fine. And you know what? And if they get the money that they want to get from it, that's good. But I mean, like I said, there's still games coming out. It's not like, yeah, I'm not getting what I want from Naughty Dog, but there's other companies like is it really bad that Sony's not giving, like, as a consumer, does it matter? Does it really matter? That's the thing. That Sony is not having good exclusives, but there's still games on the system. Like now, as an Xbox owner, I think it's only because I think it's bad. Like, yes, I don't see a lot of exclusives. I'm mad. I don't see as much as I want because you're not getting those deals with those third parties. Like we don't have Final Fantasy and stuff like that nature. So I'm like, you gotta have something to help replace that. And like well, I guess technically we got Starfield, we got Avowed coming out or whatever. Those are those Western RPGs, so that's good. But also, then I keep saying, like, yeah, why are we getting these games later? Like Baldur's Gate and stuff is like, why? Yeah. Come on, man, why are we getting these games later? Or like somebody has a deal, and then we end up getting it like some years later. Like Death Stranding, it's like, hey, how come it's only just on PC, and then it's only just the regular version? Like, what the hell is going on with that?
So weird.
It's yeah. So like Xbox is different because like you're looking for these games like even the third party games. Like some of them, yes, most of them are coming on Xbox, but then there's some that are pretty big that are not. Like what? Oh yeah, what about that woman? What's her name? The ninja naked lady, the Sling Blade. Oh, not Sling Blade, but you know, Stellar Blade. Yeah. Like who made that game?
Who did make that game?
It was a Sony, right?
No,
it was a Sony published.
It was a Sony published.
So something like that. I was like, look, that game looks cool. Why can't we have that game? Why is it not on here? Or like Black Wukong or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
why is Black Wukong? Why is that just on PlayStation? I think it's on PC though, right? Yeah, it's on PC.
Yeah, it is.
So why isn't that on Xbox? Like you see yeah, Xbox got those things to ask. So that's what I'm saying. As a PlayStation owner, I don't like. You know what? People could say. I mean, no, I feel as like people who just love games, like how we do. Yes, I do want to see the studios put out more games.
Yeah.
Yes, I like I feel like I like because I want to see because I know what those studios can do, and I want to see what they can do with this new hardware. But as just a normal consumer of games, though, like out there, it seems like it's fine. I mean, it's fine. It's like that's like them putting out more. Like I don't see that helping them. That's what I don't see. I don't see it. Like, hey, now I got a new game out, or the Sucker Punch got a new game out. I don't see that help like making it better. I feel like this is peak regardless.
Yeah,
because I think it's like if somebody didn't get the system yet. There's a reason. It's not because of games. It's not because of the lack of games. It's other reasons. And like I mean, one reason is that because the games some games are still coming out on those systems that they care about. And the games that they have seen that is probably exclusive to that system aren't worth it. Because look, Marvel Spider-Man, that was exclusive. There wasn't no Marvel Spider-Man 2 on the original one. They would have to get it. They would have to get the PS5.
Right.
But that wasn't, I mean, for anybody who didn't move, that wasn't enough. And I don't feel like there isn't going to be something like that unless it's something as big as a Grand Theft Auto. And that's a third party. And that's a third party. So that's what I'm saying. Like Sony, I don't feel like they have to. They're not in a position, like they have to put out something from their own studios. Like, I mean, like personally, yes, I want them to, but and a lot of gamers do. But they're like, yeah, it's like you get games, you got games.
Absolutely. You got too many games.
Yeah.
All right, Dominic, so it's finally happened. Nintendo is taking Pocket Pair to court, the developers behind Palworld. Funnily enough, it is not a like trademark or license issue, with like a likeness, these things looking too close to Pokemon. This is a patent infringement lawsuit, apparently.
Yes, but the internet doesn't understand that. Because they're still talking about the likeness stuff. It said,
sure,
it's obvious that they stole, that something was stolen. Still showing the likeness stuff, and people keep explaining to them, and I'm like, they don't listen. Those people don't understand, and they're not well. You just need to let them just speak in the echo chamber, Just let it be.
I will say, though, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that Nintendo is not going after them because of the likeness issues. They just might feel like they have a stronger case with the other way.
That's what I was about to say, because the likeness issue, I just feel like I think somebody else can hit them up or something.
Yeah, you sent me that tweet about Dragon Quest, and I was like, "Geez, yeah, that's kind of damning." Those are very familiar looking characters.
So it's I think it's a little harder with that because a lot of things inspired because the freaking Digimon and then all this other stuff. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. Now I will say I don't like the idea. I don't know if all the details are out there about like what the case is based around, or if it's just pretty much that press release from Nintendo saying that they're doing this. Because like I don't like the idea that we could start getting into these like patent infringement lawsuits. Like, then we can't have mini games on loading screens or arrows and
see, that's what I'm afraid
games.
I'm like, because what somebody said is like, what is the that infringement? Like, what mechanics are this game doing?
Yeah, are you telling me I can't make a game where I can't catch monsters or something like that? Like,
it's like throw a ball. Like, can it be a square then?
Exactly.
Yeah, like
a cube, a prism. What can I do?
Yeah. Can it be a trapezoid or something like that? But yeah. So what? Yeah, and what kind of mechanics we talking about? Like that's what somebody said. Like, are somebody going to do like the jump mechanic or something? And it's like we're like what? I don't know. That's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid it's like going to be something that can hurt a lot of games. like that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
And thing is, like, if it's like I'm listen, if it's something they really, really, really stole, then yes,
100%,
they should go after them. But I'm just guessing it's nothing that serious, and that they were not hurting you.
No.
People were still going to buy Pokemon.
In fact, it sounds like, I think it was last week I was starting to see stuff from the leadership over there basically saying like, we're not sure if we need to like pivot to free to play or something like that, because, they're probably not necessarily doing the peaks that they were when that game first came out. So like, they might be starting to get to a place where they're struggling a little bit, whereas Nintendo, as we previously discussed, is just like doing perfectly fine.
Yeah. So I'm like, this, like, it's got to be something really damning for me to to take the side of Nintendo on this. Like to me, it just feels like, nah, this game because it just got popular for that moment, and you finally got something to get the lawsuit going when it's not as popular, and it's like, dude, it's like this wasn't worth it. It's just because that game did some things that your game. Like they improved on things that your game should have fucking improved on.
Yeah.
That's
like
really
being
what
able to put
is.
your Pokemon in a sweatshop, obviously.
Yeah. But it's not. Yeah, I was like, this is not a threat. Like this game is not right now it's not a threat. Now I guess maybe when they get on PlayStation and the Switch, Nintendo probably won't allow it on the Switch now, but you get on the PlayStation, maybe it will be a threat. I don't think so. But it's just that it's like, yo, you had these other because I guess this got to be more popular than like Digimon and Monster Rancher at the time. But it's a different space too, because we don't have games come out the wazoo like that. That are similar to that. You know what I mean? Like, that are similar to Pokemon. We don't have games it's like coming out like we used to. So, like, people always expected copycats then. But this was, like, different because it was, like, the 3D and it's also survival-ish. Which, it combined a lot of elements. And then it had the cuteness of the, Days of Pokemon. So, yeah, it worked. And it just the way it was done. It's like there's timing, and wow, you guys. I mean, y'all gave us a disappointment. I mean, it still sold well. I mean, I guess. I mean, it still sold well, but overall, it was a disappointment though. And it's like, I don't know, man. This game doesn't seem like a threat. I don't think it's like you don't have to bother with this.
Yeah, it's not worth your time or your money. It's definitely not worth their money. So.
And all it does is hurt. I mean, it hurts them. I mean, if it goes through, and then it hurts the people who do enjoy it. Because I'm not getting it from you, Nintendo. Y'all not giving me the Pokemon game I want. And Palworld, I mean, it's not totally there. Like I said, I'm just waiting to build. But what I played, I did see the potential of it there. Like I just wanted to be more streamlined story to go with this. That's what I want. Like, I get what they're doing. I was hoping to be, like, popular enough that it's like, hey, we got something here. This is the story thing you can just follow. And, like, something like that. And that's what I want. Because y'all ain't giving me that game. Y'all still not giving me... Y'all not giving me that experience. Like, the experience is too old. Like, the experience you're giving me is something I wanted 20 years ago. Now you gotta go further. Like, you gotta go further now.
Absolutely. All right, Dominic, on some more positive Nintendo news, maybe not so positive for them. It seems like this seems pretty official. A lot of Switch 2 information has leaked, including basically CAD files that would show exactly what that system is going to look like.
I hate a CAD class, though. I hate that class.
There have been some people out there, AutoCAD. There have been some people out there that have basically 3D printed copies of these files so that they can have a physical object.
I didn't know why you just let me do it freehand. I said, I can do it. Got freehand. I can't let it look freehand. I said, no, these measurements are wrong. I said, but it looks like it.
I need you to use the extrude. Yeah. Effectively, this thing looks like a larger Switch. It's got a 8-inch screen instead of the 7-inch screen. And that's kind of it. That and the fact that the Joy-Cons will now dock via an electromagnet system, it sounds like, which could greatly improve, that system. Those kind of seem to be the biggest things. It sounds like it's going to be a 1080p screen, which I'm kind of fine either way, even though I'm a guy that plays mostly on the handheld. I I'm not sure if the 1080p screen is enough of a like the battery trade-off that you pay is worth it at a screen that size. I could very much be wrong, but if you ask me to choose between a 720p OLED screen and a 1080p LCD screen, I would probably choose the 720p OLED screen, which unfortunately doesn't necessarily sound like it's on the table right now, which is frustrating. But yeah, this thing basically looks like a Switch had a baby with a Legion Go, and part of me is excited to just see what it is, and part of me is disappointed that it's not some weird freak show thing with like 2 screens, like some people were alluding to at some point. We're at a point where they just need to officially announce this thing. Like if they're manufacturing these things and we're going to start seeing like leaks off the Chinese lines, they need to just drop the official announcement at this point.
Can they come with like a helmet thing where you can just have the thing hooked up to you so the screen's in your face and you can play with a controller?
No.
Like a hat? No.
There are some of those companies out there. What is it? The Nreal, that's like a pair of AR VR glasses that just hook up via HDMI. I've seen some people talk about those in relation to using them on the Switch. I could see that being an interesting thing. I mean, you've been playing a lot VR wise. Including like the streaming Xbox stuff and watching movie stuff. So I could see the appeal of that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I saw some of that. I really have like no opinion on it, but
yeah.
I mean, on the look of it, I don't.
I mean, it's just like, the same. It's hard to form.
That's the thing. Yeah,
a positive or negative, unless you really didn't like the Switch. The thing I will say that I'm saddened by, I guess, is once again, because we're doing the Joy-Con thing, we're not getting a proper D-pad.
Yeah, and that now, yeah, I was about to say, I was like, yeah. That is pretty bad. Like I'm pretty pissed off by that. Like them not doing that.
Yeah. Like I mean, I know just like the Switch and basically the way I've had my Switch since almost day one is, a custom shell with a D-pad thing, but I just hate the idea that I have to immediately do that to my brand new Switch 2 just to get a D-pad when, especially for the Switch 1, the crazy thing was like you had so many 2D indie games that were perfect for using with the D-pad, but because you wanted to do that like more inclusive, like hold the controller sideways thing, it wasn't really an option for you to do that.
Man, yeah, that sucks. I was hoping to have something, or it's like that's why I was hoping the system looked a little different. Whereas, hey, it's the grip. It mean it just it will feel better. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know. But like something that makes it feel better or whatever, because I mean,
Satisfy is going to be very excited that they're going to be able to make a new grip that I am absolutely going to buy because it drastically improved the usability of that thing in handheld mode. That's the problem. Like the Switch, I think Nintendo's smart in going for like maximum portability, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like people have too much trouble with carrying around the Steam Deck, and that is definitely more conformed to the actual shape of a hand instead of just kind of this flat tablet with very flat controllers that don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's gotta be like either a little bit bigger or something designed a certain way that's not so simplistic as what the Switch is now. I just wanted to feel better because I feel like that. Because I feel like it don't matter. I feel like people won't take it anywhere. Anyway, as long as it's so it don't like because the Switch is kind of. I mean, I don't know what kind of pockets. You gotta have some big pockets still. I'm sorry. It's like
Got my Jinko
it's a lot. It's a
jeans.
lot bigger than even the biggest phones. So I'm like, so you can. I say, darn, you might as well just make it at least where it can fit in my fucking. I mean, feel comfortable in my damn hand, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
I wish foldables were in a place where they were a more viable option for something like this. Like that, I could definitely see the appeal. Like the foldable phone situation, like I'm not totally convinced of quite yet, but something like this where you're also having to factor in the space of like the controllers and things of that nature, I could definitely see the appeal of being able to fold that up into a smaller device. I don't think we'll be seeing a foldable Nintendo screen for quite a long time. I think they prize durability over kind of bleeding edge technology. So
they'll get foldable screens by the time we get where we're just seeing things in our brains. Like
lasers are being shot at the back of our eyeballs. All right, Dominic, that is the news for this week. Anything else you saw or you wanted to comment on before we go on to new releases?
Oh, nah, man. Cause I honestly haven't been looking at a lot of game news. Just whatever popped up on my Twitter feed.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just see quickly here, up here, what I'm looking at here. Is this Gears of War had a card game? Because it says 20% off. I didn't know they had a card game.
I didn't know they had a card game either. It's like Magic?
Right. Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Interesting.
What is this in your Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. I'm good, man. You go ahead.
All right. Final Fantasy 16 on PC. We got that on Steam and Epic Store. We also have the Plucky Squire, which you mentioned earlier, out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series. We also have that on PlayStation Plus if you've got that. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is finally released on PS4 and Xbox One. I didn't get a chance to...
I forgot that we mentioned that it was coming there. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see if like Digital Foundry did a thing on that yet, but that's what I
seen. I don't know if it was digital. I don't know if it was Digital Foundry. But I did, and maybe it was because I was trying to think because it looked like it was, but it didn't look. It still looked good.
Oh, okay.
And then while some people said, "Man, this looks better," because I think it's the way the lighting is. I don't know, but I'm just like, this is fucking sad. It's like these games. Like this is just telling me that these games are literally like they can all be played on these systems if they optimize them. Like it's not.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to. Like I hear some people complain, like the people show developers either complaining about something, but that's just like all I hear is that okay, you're complaining about because you got to optimize, and that's more work to do, and you know what, and I feel you. I mean, because I mean at the end of the day, nobody likes to do more work, but it also tells me that like man. That these games, this ain't that much powerful though.
Yeah,
it's like because it shouldn't. I just remember the days of like seeing like going from PlayStation to PlayStation 2 or something like that. It's like yeah, this cannot be played on this console, or like how freaking N64 from Super Nintendo. It's like no, this cannot be played on this console. like that previous console. Like y'all just It's like, y'all saying, we able to make it, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, man, but if y'all, that's all it is. It's just y'all just optimizing, just not optimizing for those systems, which is all right because like you got this, like with video cards, like nobody's gonna be optimizing for my 970, no anymore. Yeah. Like the minimum is BIC is like 1070, at some games. Even though it can still run on my 970, but the thing is, they ain't tested on that because it's so old. Right. But I don't blame them. And like, I get it for the PC and stuff like that. But it's like with consoles, I'm used to a big gap. It's not just a gap of just changing a damn graphics card. Like I'm used to it. Like you have to change the whole freaking motherboard because this is a whole new system right here. This can't work. like this is this will just run just so horribly. Like we couldn't even get it all on the disc. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks that we're at that, but it's just very telling. Like with these games,
yeah,
like
it feels like it.
This isn't next gen. This isn't like next gen is not the same. Doesn't mean the same anymore. It doesn't mean the same thing anymore.
We are at same gen.
Yeah, it's like generation slightly better.
Yeah.
You know, like it's generation better. Like once I guess we should have saw that coming with the half systems. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Like they may call it a 6, but really it's just a PS5 Pro.
I was gonna say it's a half step up from the Pro. All right, Dominic. Next up, next up, we got UFO 50. That's out on PC.
Yeah, tell me what this game is.
So this is the game that Derek Yu, the guy behind Spelunky, is involved in. He basically got like several different developers to create 50 smaller games and package them together. I've seen very positive reviews on this, and I've seen like tier lists of like, these are the games that make it worth it. These are the games that are really good. These are the games that are, and these are the games you can kind of completely ignore. I'm glad that exists for someone like me, just because that way I can kind of experience those better ones.
No, you have to play through 1 through 50.
Well, it's interesting because they have different like sorting methods for when you get into the game from what I've seen. But I just don't want to get into the wrong one and then immediately kind of like write it off. Like I know there are different things and different options and games that are completely different from each other, but it would be so much easier for me to get in there and choose the 2 wrongest games and then just kind of move on to something else than if I were to, play one of the really good games and then one of the lower tier games, and kind of mix it up in a way that it's curated, I guess I should say. So I'm definitely taking a look at that. I haven't yet, just because Plucky Squire was available for effectively free because I'm already paying for PlayStation Plus, and I've still got Astrobot to finish, but that's probably going to be the next thing that I pick up. All right, we also have Dead Rising, the Deluxe Remaster. That's now out on PC, PS5, Xbox Series. What do you think, Dominic? Are you ready to return to Dead Rising?
I mean, it's not like I was really there much, but but I don't know. I mean, I'll see. I mean, the thing is, it would have to. I don't think I want to buy it though. That's the thing. Yeah. I don't know.
This is a game I would not be surprised to see on Game Pass in 6 months.
Like, if I was to buy it, it would be on PC because I can just put cheats and mods and shit up there. But I don't know if it can run on my PC. So like I say, I don't know.
All right. Speaking of games that will probably not run on your PC, God of War Ragnarok is now out on PC. A lot of people are unhappy about the PlayStation Network requirements for that game.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
But see, God of War ran on my PC, and I think, and I'm curious if it could run, on my PC.
They just put the work into optimizing it, huh? I do remember you saying that now, that it worked decently. So, all right. We also have Wargroove 2 finally making its way to the Xbox One and Xbox Series. That's cool. It sounds like
wait a minute. So World War II already been out?
Yeah, it came out last year.
Oh, and it's on Game Pass.
Oh, is it on Game Pass?
Yeah, that was the newest one.
Then I might check it out on Game Pass. Because I never beat the first one because it got pretty hard. But so I never got around to buying the second one. But I would definitely boot it up on Game Pass. All right, we also have El Paso Elsewhere. Sounds like people are pretty positive on this. It's like
what the hell is this?
Max Payne style third-person shooter with like bullet time. But
and it's only on PlayStation?
PC, sorry. PC 5. I don't know why. Just PC for right now. But it looks like it's kind of more waves of enemies. It's not like story based around the same way Max Payne
have
game
that
is.
Matt. Yeah, him like jumping forward.
Yeah, it's a very rudimentary looking game. It's kind of ugly, but it sounds like it's pretty fun. So
it takes a powerful PC to play.
Maybe it's just poorly optimized. All right, and then we got Frostpunk 2. Dominic, you've been playing a lot of Frostpunk. What's your level of interest in Frostpunk 2?
I mean, it's interest. It's just that I still want to finish the scenario on Frostpunk. So I did have play a little bit of it. I just didn't mention because there wasn't really much change there.
Gotcha.
But I was trying to read like what are any differences from that, or I don't even know what the DLC was for the original Frostpunk. But they were saying that this is more of like you trying to manage the people more so than than just buildings, like they're almost like the psychology of of the masses and stuff like that, and it's an interesting take. Yeah, it's a different kind of take. It's like it's similar with the other one, but it's different. It's different in that way. So I'm kind of that's what I'm kind of curious about. Like the guy said, he was trying to be like straight, good and stuff, but it's just it got to a point where you have to choose. Because as a leader, you're going to have to he had to choose. I think was it religion or something? Something to be religious and then the people treating the people who aren't like that, bad. But it's like you had to choose a side, like what religion was right or something, and he just chose, and he knew he was going to have some discontent, but that comes with it. It's going to happen. Yeah. Like you're never going to make everybody happy. I mean, that's just life.
Yep.
You just have to make yourself happy.
All right, Dominic, that is it for new releases. You got anything else for the people before we get out of here?
No, I'm good.
All right, thank you guys.
Question real quick.
Sure.
The Frostpunk.
Yes.
Because the guy, isn't it the guys who did Frostpunk doing another game that with the man with the clones of himself or something like that?
Yes.
Are Frostpunk 2 done by the same people?
Frostpunk 2 is done by 11-Bit Studios, which also did Frostpunk 1, yes.
Yeah. Is it 11-Bit? Well, is it like somebody left that studio, or that studio is doing that game too?
Nah, they're doing both games.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That they got that and this one. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what kind of engine they use for Frostpunk 2. Maybe they use a lot of stuff from Frostpunk 1 that made it easier.
Even then, it seems kind of crazy that they're releasing them so close together, I guess, right? Because Alters... I guess, do we have a date for Alters?
That's what I say. I don't know if we ever got an official date. I just know we had that.
Yeah, it just says demo. 2024 right now.
Oh, it's still at 2024? That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's got to be pushed back. Like I just kind of.
It definitely feels like a game that at the very least would come out early 2025.
Because I was worried. Because when I did Frostpunk, I thought Frostpunk 2 had already come out.
Yeah.
And Frostpunk 1, and then I saw it hasn't. And then I was thinking about that game. I was like, wait a minute, aren't they doing another game? I said, wait, when is that game come out? Yeah, that's crazy that's coming out so soon.
Yeah.
All right. So, go ahead. We can close this out. All right.
We'll wrap it up then. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube Music, Amazon, Spotify. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see you.